Welcome to the Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Wendy's. We are live at Pulaski Field as Pulaski takes on Milwaukee, Washington. Thanks for joining us. My name is Mike McGivern. I'm with Sports Radio 1250 WSSP, and this is the Sports Radio 1250 pregame show. I'm joined by two head coaches here from Milwaukee, Washington, Theo Carney. From Milwaukee, Pulaski, Greg Roman. Greg, let's start with you. First of all, thanks for having us here tonight.
Thanks for coming out, Mike, and I want to commend My 24 for the great job you guys do putting on your broadcasts. We're excited to have you here.
I appreciate that. You guys start the season 2-2, Coach. It's a co-op, got kids from some different schools coming together as a team, coming together as a unit.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've got quite a few seniors on this team, some excellent leadership, and we've blended in some young faces as well, but just continuing to try to play good football and move forward and continue to win games this year.
Well, seniors make a difference, don't they?
They sure do, and these kids have been in the program for 4 years, been running the same offense for 4 years, and been working hard, so that really pays dividends.
They put their sweat equity in.
Yeah, absolutely.
You bet. Theo Carney, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. It's good to see you. Coach, you went to school here.
Yes, I
at
did.
Pulaski, now coaching at Washington. You've been coaching the city since you left Madison. You played for the Badgers.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, this year's team, awfully good, 3-0 in conference, 3-1 overall. They won your last three. They're starting to come together pretty well. We talked off the air. You're feeling pretty good about this squad.
Pretty good about this team here. It's a close-knit family. We preach that pretty much every week before we play any games. Got a lot of discipline on the team, a lot of seniors that are coming up, stepping up as far as being leaders, and that's helping out as far as winning our games.
You know, Coach, last week I talked to a coach about the co-op situation and the busing, and that just throws one wrench into this, make it a little bit more difficult getting kids here on time for practice.
Yeah, it's a challenge, and getting all the kids, get the paperwork in when the season starts, and our co-op schools end at different times too, so that's another thing that we have to deal with. Reagan ends at 2:40, Pulaski ends at 3:55, Arts is a late exit as well, and then we have to wait for those kids to get here. So we have kids that filter in after practice has started already.
Give you and your staff a lot of credit for that, Coach. No doubt. Same with you guys, right? You got co-op and having kids, I think, coming through, as Coach talked about, coming through the program, that certainly helps Washington at this point.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. We have a lot of kids that come from different schools, but we, like I said, we preach here that we're all one, no matter what school we come from. Make sure we're here on time, make sure we're dressed and practice on time, and let's take care of business.
Coach, you had talked about giving back to the community. I commend you for that.
Yes.
That's a great point. Guys, I'm going to cut you guys loose. We're going to get to a break. Other side of the break, I'll get you over to John Weiser and Dick Basham for the keys of the game. This is the Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Wendy's.
Another great City Conference matchup tonight on Thursday Night Lights with Hall of Fame football coach Dick Basham. John Weiser with you from Pulaski Field, where tonight we've got Washington taking on Pulaski. Washington undefeated in City Conference play, looking to secure a playoff berth with a win here tonight, or at least make themselves playoff eligible with a win here tonight. And Pulaski trying to climb back into this City Conference race, 1-1 in league play, 2-2 overall. And Dick, thinking about this game all week, I'm not really sure where to go with this, because on one side you've got a very quick and speedy Washington team. You've got a very physical team in Pulaski. I don't know, one of them is going to win out here tonight.
Well, it's going to be an interesting game, I think. Both teams are, I think, well coached. They're on the rise. They're co-op teams, and so they have more players from other schools. And they've had success so far this year, even though Washington may be a little more so than Pulaski. But Greg Roman likes his team. We were talking to Theo Carney before the game. He likes his team. And I think it's two different styles, speed against power maybe, and we'll see what wins out.
Should be an excellent night tonight to showcase some athletes here, and we'll start with Milwaukee, Washington. Amuro King, maybe the best raw athlete we have seen in the City Conference in quite some time.
Well, Theo Carney thinks he does, and Marlon Boyd, the athletic director and defensive coordinator, also told me he thought he was a great player. And we're going to get that chance to see that tonight. He's only a sophomore. He runs very well. I think watching him practice, he's an average passer at this time, but he's only a sophomore. But he gets a lot of things done with his feet, and he makes a lot of plays. He turns a lot of bad plays into good plays. He's a very good student. He's a captain of the team already as a sophomore, and he's going to be fun to watch, I think.
And of course, Washington has their own T.O., Terrence Owens, on that offensive line to help create the holes.
Well, he's a real T.O., though. He's a very good player. He's an offensive and defensive tackle, about 6'1", 225 pounds, great athlete, very good basketball player. And according to Marlon Boyd, the defensive coordinator, he's been dominating and very difficult to block, and I think that's probably going to be the key to the game for Washington on defense tonight.
For Pulaski, we'll keep an eye on their quarterback as well. David Hernandez, another fine quarterback in this city conference.
Well, he's number 24. He's a 4-year starter. Another very good student, 3.5 National Honor Society. Plays baseball, also as a defensive back, returns kicks, and is an excellent all-around player, and I think probably is the key, as the coach Roman has pointed out, to their offense.
They've got a two-way player to keep an eye on tonight, too, and Ryan Gill.
Yeah, Ryan Gill is the strongest player on the team. He plays offensive guard and he plays linebacker. He's playing a little bit hurt. He got dinged up early in the season, but he's been biting the bullet, so to speak, and playing every game. He's also a good student and one of their best players, and I think we'll do a good job for him tonight.
It's time now for the keys to our ball game tonight. We'll start first for the Pergolders from Washington.
Well, it's interesting that, but I think Washington needs to stay out of long yardage situations and not get caught in where they have to pass. They need to contain the Pulaski quarterback, Hernandez, and they need to score a TD on special teams, I think, in order to win this game. For Pulaski, I think they need to win first down on defense and try to get Washington into those passing situations. They need to be unpredictable on offense themselves, and they need to contain Washington's team speed.
Both teams made the playoffs last year. Washington winning the matchup last year by 2 points. We'll see how that turns out here tonight. Washington and Pulaski on the Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights. Pulaski Stadium is the site of our ball game here tonight. The Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Washington against Pulaski. We're ready to go here tonight from Pulaski Stadium in Milwaukee with Dick Basham, John Weiser, Mike McGivern on the sidelines tonight. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Our Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights. Once again in the city conference. A big battle tonight. Pergolders trying to stay undefeated in conference play, while the Rams from Pulaski trying to get back in the win column with a 1-1 record, trying to get over that 500 mark. Excellent night for football tonight, Dick. 62 degrees, wind at 13, but that's going to die down as the evening goes along. And the forecast is not only cool, but good football tonight.
Yeah, right. I'm looking forward to this game. I've watched both teams practice, and they both have good players. They both are well-disciplined, and I think it has the makings of being a very good football game, and I hope both teams play well.
Pulaski won the toss. They will receive. They will be wearing the blue jerseys, Washington in the white jerseys tonight. Back deep to receive for the Pulaski Ram. That is Terry Armstrong III.
Boy, after that national anthem, you kind of looked for a flyby, didn't you?
I was waiting for that, yes.
That was great. That's one of the great renditions of the late Whitney Houston.
Washington trying to keep their win streak going. They lost their first game of the year to Campbellsport, but then have ripped off 3 in a row. As we mentioned in the pregame, both teams making the playoffs last year for the Pulaski Rams, their first ever playoff appearance. And there's
excited.
Greg Roman.
Yeah, they're excited about that. Greg Roman, the son of a coach. His dad coached for 40 years up in the Wisconsin Rapids, Stevens Point area, and so he knows a little bit about coaching, I think.
Natural turf field out here looks in great shape here for late September.
Of course, the other aspect of coaching that's very interesting is Theo Carney, as was mentioned in the pregame show, was a great player here at Pulaski under Hall of Fame coach Greg Dufek. And of course, he came back here after playing for the Badgers and having a great career there, and coached with Coach Dufek, and now has been at Washington for a few years. He's a math teacher, teaches second grade math at the YMCA. So.
You guys can talk your own lingo with that math language.
Yeah. 2 and 2 is still 4, no matter how you cut it.
Elliot Stokes has it teed up, and we are ready to go here tonight. Week number 5 in the high school football season underway as Stokes puts a foot into this one. It will sail to one of the short men up front, losing control of it, and Pulaski will fall on it just shy of the 25-yard line. Coming down with that one that time was Andre Sabala. And so the Rams will have it 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line. We get our first look on offense tonight of David Hernandez, the quarterback. As we mentioned, a 4-year starter coming into the ball game here tonight. First team all-conference as a defensive back a season ago.
Well, he's a great all-around player. As we mentioned, he plays defense as well. Returns the kicks, punts and kickoffs, so he doesn't leave the field that much.
Antonio Drew and Jesus Hernandez the backfield here. 1st and 10 from the 24. And the give will be to Drew. Drew gets across the 25, maybe the 26-yard line for a couple hard-earned yards right up the middle. First Bank first down tonight. Once again, we'd like to thank First Bank Financial Center for being our first down sponsor on Thursday Night Lights as we get a look at the offensive starters.
Yeah, Uceda, Lopez, Clifford, Gill, and Strong are the offensive line for the Rams. Drew Hernandez and Tony Williams are split end. Fauché is the tight end, and Dan Lopez is the flanker.
2nd and 8 upcoming here for Pulaski. They go with twin slots to either side here, single back. And Hernandez wants to throw, throws it out there. Was it a lateral or not? No signal yet. Now they'll rule it an incomplete pass as he tried to wide receiver screen here to the far side, set up 3rd and long for Pulaski as we set the defense.
Dobson, Owens, King, and Williams, Terrell Williams, and Terrence Owens on the line. Willie Price, the leading linebacker, Elliott Stokes, and Rashid Kilpatrick, who had to tackle on that first play from scrimmage, are the linebackers.
Now 3rd and long for Pulaski here in their first possession opening drive. Offset eye to the left, and they'll roll the quarterback out. Hernandez wants to throw, goes downfield, gets the big man, makes the catch at the 41-yard line. Antonio Williams, 6'2", 195, coming down with the catch. Brandon Davis on the coverage for the Pergolders, but a first down for Pulaski.
Well, that was well done. Nice little run fake to the tailback, and Hernandez rolls out to his left, throws it down into the outside, and right on the money. Good catch, good defense as well. It's pretty hard to defend a perfectly thrown pass.
13-yard pickup and a first down for the Rams from Pulaski. Their own 41-yard line near hash mark. And the give is to Drew. Drew tries to pick his way through the middle of that line. Not much there, maybe a couple before he was brought down.
Well, Washington's pretty tough up front. They've got the big guys up there, and that was Japheth Dobson who made the play.
Dobson is senior 5'10" on that defensive end. It's 2nd down, a long 9 here for the Rams from their own 42. 2-step drop, now flushed. Hernandez wants to run. He'll take it outside, trying to get the edge and not going to get there. Good defensive play out there on the far side. Willie Price, the linebacker, a senior, stepping up, making the play, sealing off the edge, not allowing Hernandez to get the corner.
Well, I think you saw there a little example of the speed that Washington has. Willie Price, the linebacker, was able to run Hernandez down without too much trouble. And I think Hernandez, that's probably good for him to find that out, that he's going to have to stay in there and throw the ball. He's not going to be able to outrun everybody.
Loss of 3, 3rd and 12 upcoming here for Pulaski. 9.5 minutes to go here in our first quarter. No score. Opening drive for the Pulaski Rams. Ball at their own 39-yard line. Hernandez wants to throw, now has to scramble. Being chased, and will try and get to the near boundary. Will cut it upfield, got it across the 45, maybe the 46, make it the 47-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the scramble and puts him in a 4th and manageable here at midfield. It was Lorenzo Scott who finally ran him down.
But the guy who made that play was Japheth Dobson. He was in the backfield like a shot and forced Hernandez out to the left, and it's close, pretty close to a first down, but I don't know if they'll go for it here. I think I would back him up and make him go the length of the field in case we don't get it. But it looks like they are. Yes, they are going to go for it.
They will go for it here on 4th and short, 4th and about 2 here. And Hernandez will get the first down and more across midfield to the Pergolder 45-yard line. They go for it on 4th down and convert. And bringing him down that time was Eric Parrish. linebacker for Milwaukee, Washington, but a first down as we get another look.
Well, the left side of the line here, Adrian Gonzalez and Mario Uceda, they just wiped everything clean. And I see Ryan Gillen, number 51 also. And it was an easy first down, and obviously they knew what they were doing.
So Greg Roman rolls the dice, and it comes up big. They pick up the first down. 1st and 10 from the 45 of Washington. They'll throw. Now set up a screen. It's a low pass. It's loose, and they'll call it incomplete. That wasn't going to go anywhere. Intended for Drew. He was already on the ground when the ball got to him. Good pass rush up front by the front four that time, Dobson and Owens.
Yeah, that play, Hernandez is a little bit harried. He's got to get a little more set if he can and get rid of that ball. He forced the receiver to go to the ground to catch it, so they weren't going to get anywhere. High school, you can't get up and run.
Remind you that Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com. The pitch to Drew, right side with some room. Takes it inside the 40, fumbles the football. It's a scoop pickup the other way. And we got a penalty marker down.
Willie Price.
Price will take it all the way in for the touchdown, but let's see. We got a flag down. Drew is down back at the 40-yard line. If it stands, it'll go as a 60-yard fumble return for Price. But we do have a penalty marker down at the 45 of Pulaski.
I think Terrence Owens caused the fumble, and Willie Price was there to scoop it up and take it to the house.
Our Conan Smith penalty flag, our first one of the ball game tonight. Thad Hilliard is our referee tonight, heading up this officiating crew from the city conference. And they're going to discuss this play. It's going to be an illegal block in the back on Washington.
After the play,
so they will keep possession. But it will take the 6 points off the board, and they're still tending to Drew on the 40-yard line. Now Drew up under his own power. Going to get some assistance here to the near sideline.
Seems to be holding his right hip. He might have a hip pointer.
Let's head downstairs to our third member of our crew, and Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, here with Jim Dalkey from Wendy's. Jim, again, as always, thank you so much for sponsoring. What's new and what's going on at Wendy's?
We got a new portobello mushroom sandwich. You can get a single, double, triple with portobello mushrooms, cheese, bacon, meat. It's wonderful. It's the best sandwich we have.
Hey, you guys still doing the free Frosty with school ID?
Absolutely. We want the kids to come in. We want to support the schools and the students. It's just a wonderful way to go.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Jim.
Thank you, guys. Well, the turnover will give Washington the football at their own 45-yard line. Price will get credit for the fumble recovery. And we got movement on the line of scrimmage.
Well, you could see that Washington was in a power eye. They had all 11 guys in tight, and Pulaski had 9 guys right up on the line of scrimmage.
It's Pulaski offside. Again, this season, penalty flags being brought to you by Conan Smith, your criminal defense team. People in the know to call Conan Smith. So 5 free ones here for the Pergolders. Sets up a 1st and 5 from midfield. Again, off the turnover, stalling the Pulaski drive. No score. 7:50 to go here in our first quarter.
Go from a power eye now to two double wides.
Moro King will fake the handoff. He'll keep it. Blast up the middle. First down and more. Tries to wing it to the outside across the 40. Far sideline goes King before he's finally down at the Pulaski 35-yard line. Gain of 15 on the run by King. Ryan Gill, who we featured in our pregame, able to make the tackle.
Well, that was a good run, but he also got blasted pretty hard out of bounds here. Nice cut to the outside. Breaks one tackle with Hernandez, and then you can see 51, Ryan Gill come in and finish it off. Showed a little bit of his explosiveness right there already.
Actually, a gain of 20 down to the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, King. try and go up the middle and moving the pile forward. Pickup of about 5 on the play. But that carry Willie Price that time.
I think that was Willie Price, right? Yeah, fullback. Straight ahead, nothing fancy.
There you get a good look at Theo Carney, head coach with the baseball cap on there.
Very active coach. He's hands-on. He's involved in everything. I watched him at practice. Very impressed by his enthusiasm. And it shows on the sideline.
So 2nd and 5 for the Pergolders. Now they show I formation with double receiver. And again, they'll hand it off. Again, the Pulaski defense able to stack up there. Pulling for no gain.
That's Ryan Gilligan on the tackle. Straight ahead, simple play. Left side, Pulaski has another player down.
Another player down for the Rams is Greg Roman. Losing players here right and left after the first minute here, and this one of the big defensive linemen here for Pulaski.
Yeah, Arizona's a defensive tackle.
So I'll have to come out for at least one play here. 3rd down and 5 upcoming.
Back to their I formation, see if they can stay with the run. Looks like they are.
I'll hand it off one more time. This is Xavier Ford for the Pergolders, a 6'3", 365-pound sophomore. Ford, part of this young squad, young skill receivers here. As we get another look.
Just a little isolation play to the left side, and behind their Kyrie Childress, Terrence Owens on the left side, guard and tackle, and just straight ahead football.
So it sets up a 4th and 2 from the Pulaski 22-yard line. King will work from shotgun. They'll send Ford in motion to the left. High snap, King comes down with it. He'll get he got to the first down line and he was smacked.
I think he got it, but he got
Terry Armstrong, I believe, who got him, the middle linebacker, the senior. One of the fastest players, closed in on King almost immediately, and it will be just enough for a first down.
Well, he erased him pretty good, but right there, you see him come in and that was Ryan Gill who really leveled him. Armstrong had a hold of him, but Gill finished him off.
So 1st and 10 for the Pergolders. Ball at the 20-yard line of Pulaski trying to take advantage of the Price fumble recovery. This time they'll give to the fullback, Price, and he'll take it across the line of scrimmage just short of the 15-yard line.
Well, it seems that Aaron Austin on the tackle, it seems that Washington likes to keep it in tight, keep the defense in tight, and then all of a sudden break it to the outside, which is a good way to approach the game. Keep the defense in tight. With their speed, they can certainly get outside.
2nd down, we'll call it 6. Roll out by King, out to the right side, trying to get to the edge. Going to be met out there and brought down. Nice defensive play, David Hernandez, and then he forces the turnover. Check that, King still with the football. He'll take it into the end zone for the score. Unbelievable. I thought he was at the boundary. Then I saw players moving the other way. I thought the ball might have been loose. We got a player down as King got to the boundary here on the near side, met up with Hernandez and somehow got out of that tackle and reversed his field into the end zone for the score.
Well, he was pretty much dead to rights out here on the near sideline, but then he was able to get away from that tackle and reverse his field and essentially ran through all 11 guys to the end zone.
Let's have another look here.
Here he is out here. That is Hernandez, David Hernandez, who has the tackle. He gets away from him, works his way back, gets a couple blocks right there, and finds his way to the end zone. I guess that's pretty much athletic ability. I wasn't certainly planned that way.
Jesus Hernandez, the injured player, back up, so that's another Pulaski player going out with an injury here.
Well, football's that kind of game. It's kind of like Christmas. You either give or receive, and it's better to give than receive.
So to go as a 22-yard touchdown run for Amaro King. This is 4th touchdown rushing, I should say, this year.
He is Amaro King is the leading rusher in the city conference right now after 4 weeks. So this is not the first time he's done something like that.
They will go for the 2-point conversion here.
Instructor. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm just gonna say how you doing. You guys sounded great.
And they'll hand it off. Price will take it in for the 2-point conversion. 8-0 Washington. They capitalize on Price's fumble recovery at the 45-yard line. A couple of penalties against Pulaski, and it was King going over from 22 yards out.
Well, I don't know. I didn't care for the Pulaski's body language isn't good.
So 8-0 Washington with the lead. We will take our break. 8-0, Pergolders on top of the Rams here on the Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Listen. King's 22-yard touchdown run and the 2-point conversion by Price makes it an 8-0 ball game for Washington. Take advantage of the Pulaski takeaway, or turnover, I should say. Price taking it away on the fumble recovery at the 45. So this will be Austin and Armstrong standing deep to receive. And Stokes will kick this one away. And some confusion trying to come up with the football, and then on the ground with it was Armstrong. His knee was down when he covered up that football, so it will be Pulaski ball inside their own 20-yard line at that spot where he recovered the football.
Well, I think Armstrong panicked a little bit. He had time. When the ball's kicked that deep, you do have time to recover it, and he's one of their faster players, and I know they want him to run it back, but he's got to keep his wits about him a little bit and handle the ball.
They'll spot it just shy of the 15-yard line. Now let's see how Pulaski responds, turning it over on their first drive. David Hernandez will dig in under center. He has Drew back in the ball game now at the tailback spot. And Drew gets the call, tries to get the corner near side, can't get past the edge, breaks a tackle, and gets out to about the 15-yard line, got about a yard. Let's head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, I'm here with Brianna McKenzie. She's a senior at Pulaski. She's the instructor for this cheerleading group. That's a big group.
Yes, it is. I love it.
Yeah, and you guys showing a lot of spirit. You told me this is about half the girls, the other half couldn't show up.
Yes, we have about 40 girls total, but a lot of them couldn't make it tonight, so we're working with what we got.
And you know what? They're working hard and doing a nice job. Congratulations, you guys do well.
Thank you so much. We're working on it hard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done.
All part of the pageantry of high school football here in the city conference as Hernandez will flip it out. Nice play. Michael Alfaro with the catch. He'll get the first down out across the 25 and out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Nice little run and catch that time by Hernandez.
Lorenzo Scott on the tackle. That was well done. Little roll out to the right. He was wide open in the flat, dumped him the ball. Hernandez did a little better job that time of getting himself squared to the throw and got a lot better result.
It's actually Truss and Scott both were there. I believe we also have a penalty marker down.
One thing you can see that the pursuit of this Washington defense is very good. I think Pulaski, if they have a reverse and counter plays, that's going to slow that pursuit down a little bit. That would be helpful.
Once again, Mike McGivern, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, listening to the coaching staff over on Washington, they're telling their kids, look, we do not trash talk. Knock it off and play football. And like Coach Basham said, Theo is really coaching these kids up. All aspects of the game, special teams, offense, defense, line. He's all over the place and really a strong influence on this team.
Well, that's exactly right. I watched him in practice. I watched him before the game. We talked to him a little bit. He's 100% in charge of what's going on.
Holding the call here against Pulaski will move them back. Spotted the foul. Make it a 2nd down and 5.
I couldn't agree with him more with that trash talking. We don't need that.
No, it's no place at all.
See enough of that on the weekends. Just play football.
Right. Drew on the carry, stop right at the line of scrimmage. Terrence Owens, who we featured in our pregame, there to make the stop.
Again, just a simple play, but Owens is can be a dominating player, and right now he seems to be just that. See him with his hands on his hips. He's a very good athlete for a young man his size right there. You see he gets good leverage, sheds a tackler, makes the play. Just the way you coach it right there.
Loss of a yard, 3rd down and 6. Ball at the 18-yard line, and now a timeout taken here by Pulaski. Will stop play here with 2:45 remaining here in our first quarter, an 8-0 Washington lead.
Well, Pulaski needs to get, they seem to be a little bit disorganized here, but they have had some successful plays. They just need to get some momentum and some rhythm going so they can get the job done that they have to do. They've had a few injuries that have slowed them down. I think they're a little surprised by the hitting that they're running into. As I said earlier, Washington has really shown that they have the speed to cover the entire field, so they're going to have to use, I think, Pulaski, if they can get a little misdirection and play action, faking just to take the pressure off up front so they can develop a play, they'll have some success.
So following the timeout, Pulaski will try and get this 3rd and 6 situation rectified here. Hernandez on a blitz, gets out of it, just dumps it out, throws it incomplete. Nearest receiver out there was Daniel Lopez, the flanker, but Hernandez, smart play there, just got rid of it to avoid the sack.
Yeah, he didn't have much chance. Rashid Kilpatrick was all over him and forced him out of the pocket. Smart move to throw it away. See if they can punt it out of here and get some field position.
Hernandez also does the punting. He's the place kicker.
Returns kicks.
Drives the bus to and from the stadium.
But not his own. Doesn't return his own kicks. So hopefully he doesn't return his own kicks.
And Amaro King standing at midfield. High snap. Hernandez gets it down and away. King will let it bounce. He'll pick it up off one bounce at midfield to the 45-40. Near side 40.
That's a problem.
30. One tackle away. Gets it inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. A 27-yard return that time by Amaro King, and he was one block away from getting it into the end zone. Antonio Williams with the stop. We got a couple
penalty
of
flag. It looks like we do. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think Washington fooled Pulaski a little bit when they picked up the punt. They thought coverage thought he was going to let it roll dead, and he got a good bounce and picked it up and took it down.
Well, it's a break for Pulaski here. They said they were lined up in the neutral zone as we get a look at the return.
Hernandez was in on the tackle, too, and he's the kicker.
Now it was 4th and 6. And it was lining up in a neutral zone, the penalty against Washington.
It should have been a dead ball foul, though. It should have been called before the ball was
right.
snapped and
I believe,
administered then.
I believe Thad Hilliard did signal it was a dead ball, so we may have to put some time back on the clock as well.
It'll be 4th and about 1 or 2 here if they take the penalty, which I'm sure they will.
So re-kick here, 4th and 1. Another high snap. Hernandez brings it down. This time an end-over-end kick. King will back up. This time he'll get away from it. It'll roll dead near midfield. That's where Pulaski will touch it at their own 49-yard line. So a 27-yard punt, no return. Just a little over 2 minutes to go here in our first quarter. Washington, their second possession at midfield.
Yeah, good field position again for him. It's a lot better, different game when you play on half the field.
Well, special teams going to come into focus, I think, before this ball game is over. And Morrow King able to make things happen back there. Don't miss all of the high-flying, bone-crushing action of Ring of Honor Wrestling Saturday at 9, followed by the Pro Wrestling Report at 10, only on My 24.
Well, they come out in a little wider formation with a shotgun to start this series. Last time they came out in a power I. Now they have 12 men in the field, so that's a penalty right there.
Another Cohn and Smith penalty. Game not getting much of a flow here through this first quarter. Too many penalties. That'll be a 12 men on the field penalty here against Washington. They'll set up a 1st and 15.
It's kind of like that Monday night NFL game where it took an hour and a half to play the first quarter.
Oh, my.
All right, 1st and 15. Let's see if they change their mind of what they want to do. I think they've been substituting a lot in the backfield, and a little confusion as to who is to be in the game.
First Bank first down tonight. Again, we want to thank First Financial Banking Center for their being our first down sponsor on Thursday Night Lights. First Bank Financial Center, discover the community bank difference. 1st and 15 for the Pergolders at their own 45. And hand it off. This is Ford breaking a tackle, trying to keep his balance. Got it back into Pulaski territory. Picked up 10 on the play. Was tripped up out there by Hernandez, the cornerback.
Now that's just a little what's called a zone read play. I don't know if they were actually reading it, but just a straight give to the tailback. Good blocking on the left side. Got Terrence Owens over there with Kyrie Childress.
Got a feeling Ryan
Xavier
Gill.
Ford's a good runner as well.
Ryan Gill would like to have that one back. Kind of didn't quite have his balance as he got to the hole and was off balance trying to make that tackle. Otherwise, he would have stopped him right at the line.
Right.
2nd and 5. And again, a fumble this time as there was a problem with the exchange. Ford lost control of it. Pulaski thinks they have it, and they do. Pulaski comes up with a fumble recovery as Ford lost control of the handoff.
Michael Redmond got up with the ball.
Well, Michael Redmond, the junior strong safety, with the fumble recovery. So each team with a turnover here in this first quarter. If we get another look here, I don't believe they ever had control of the handoff.
No. And I think that was the ball carrier's fault. He just didn't clasp it. One thing I did notice in practice when I was out on Tuesday to watch Washington practice that they were having a little trouble with the handoffs and probably more fumbles than they would have liked in practice anyway.
So Redmond with the fumble recovery sets up Pulaski 1st and 10 in their own 39. Mendes wants to throw, now scrambles, going to be dumped in the backfield for a loss. Nice sack back there. Getting in on the stop, Dobson that time. The senior defensive end from the far side came across to make the play and chased down Hernandez for the sack.
Well, he wasn't touched. Pulaski protection's got to be better. Hernandez doesn't even have a chance to get his feet set, and he's got to get on the run. Otherwise, he gets sacked. So we need to take care of the blocking up front. That's a real simple solution to their problem.
Loss of 5, 2nd and 15 from the 35. They'll pitch it back. On the carry, that is Austin. Aaron Austin trying to get the edge. Nowhere to go there.
Right now, the speed of Washington is dominating the situation. Pulaski hasn't been able to run much inside, and now they can't get outside either.
Clock winding down here in the quarter. 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 from their own 35-yard line. And Thad Hilliard stopping play here, the referee.
Another whistle for something.
Wants to put some time back up on the clock here.
Evidently the 30 seconds, 10 seconds back on the clock, it looks like.
They'll work out of the I formation on 3rd and 15 from their own 35. Quick drop. Hernandez on the run, brought down again. Second sack on this drive. Rashid Kilpatrick, I believe, the linebacker there to make the stop for Washington. His first sack of the evening.
He's been pretty active. He's had several tackles, but that's the first one in the backfield. They seem to have one guy free all the time. And it's just taking Pulaski out of their passing game. They like to go 50-50 on their passing, but they're not getting it done.
Pulaski will wait out the time here. They'll punt to start the second quarter when we come back to Pulaski Stadium. Milwaukee's south side. Washington leading Milwaukee Pulaski 8-0. Our anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights, presented by Wendy's. Man.
10 seconds.
Second quarter set to begin. Pulaski facing 4th down in punt formation as they trail by a touchdown here. Morrow King standing at his own 35, nearly broke the last punt for a touchdown. Hernandez gets a good snap, good foot in this one. Nice driving kick over the head of King. He'll let it bounce. And he'll pick it up near his own 5. He'll cut it back upfield. This is where he's dangerous. Got a block in the back there. As this one will come back, as Hernandez will bring him down along with Gill at the 30-yard line. But this will be coming back for a clear block in the back, trying to set up that edge here for King.
Yeah, Gill and Hernandez took him down, but that block in the back was a little bit too obvious. That'll send them half the distance to the goal line, so they're going to be backed up pretty well.
So Conan Smith penalty flags flying, as you saw right there at the end.
Right. They'll take their flags on the 10-yard line, so they'll end up on the 5-yard line first down.
Maybe that penalty was on Lorenzo Scott.
Well, it's real simple. If you can read the guy's numbers, don't hit him. And he definitely could read the numbers. And there's an opportunity for Pulaski now to get back in the game. They need to put the pressure on him. Don't let him out of here. Get a turnover. Get good field position. They haven't had good field position all night. That's a huge part of a big game.
Well, this drive will start at the 7-yard line. They'll work out of the I formation. There was movement up front. And so another penalty. Pulaski fans trying to cheer on their defense here, sensing a chance to stack this Washington team back. It'll be a false start penalty here on the Pergolders.
Well, that gives them even better field position as far as Pulaski is concerned. Now they need to make a play.
We're getting a look at Greg Roman, the head coach over at Pulaski. That's Theo Carney, the head coach there for Washington. So they'll move this ball inside the 5.
Both coaches are very active on the sideline. They're not letting things get by them.
Ford flanking King out of that backfield, and Ford going to get the call and brought down immediately. Fumbled the football as well, as it did come out on the way down. They'll unstack the pile.
Gets it. This is a great opportunity.
It's Pulaski football. Coming up from that bottom of that pile was Aaron Austin, the defensive tackle, recovering that loose ball. Again, that's the second straight time Ford has had trouble with the handoff.
Here's a look at it right here. He's got it there, but he grabs his arm and he just doesn't take care of the ball. That's all you can say. You got to give credit to Pulaski for making the play. They had an opportunity and they took advantage of it. Now they got to punch it in.
Eric Jacobs with the strip. Austin with the recovery. First and goal, Pulaski at the 2. Drew gets it to the goal line. Touchdown, Pulaski. So just like that, they capitalize on the turnover. Second one tonight. Get point off turnovers. That is key. And so Pulaski back in. Get another look here.
Just what the doctor ordered right here. You get field position, you take advantage of it. Drew's in, untouched. Excellent job. 2-point conversion. Now they're gonna go for one right now.
Hernandez will kick the extra point. Ball is up and it is good.
Excellent kicker.
8-7 early here in this second quarter, as Pulaski takes advantage of a couple of penalties on the Pergolders and the fumble recovery on the strip by Jacobs and the recovery by Austin. So maybe a little momentum shift here.
Well, we'll see. Now Hernandez has got a good leg. Noticed on the extra point. So if he can get a good kick down here, they can get some field position, keep the pressure on Washington. Washington does not want to throw the ball. That's not how they have won their games. They are a running team, and as we said in the pregame, they want to get him in that situation when you need to throw the ball. They also, Pulaski, this is the first time they had any field position, and that was unbelievable field position. They took advantage of it. That's a big part of the game.
Well, these two played a close ball game last year, a 14-12 Washington win. Actually, Pulaski getting a touchdown to pull within 2 in that ball game and failed on the 2-point conversion, the difference.
Right. I would not kick it to number 7 if I was the kicker.
That's Davis back there as well. And it will go to King, but it will roll into the end zone.
No, it didn't quite get in.
Didn't get there. They'll run it out. Okay. I was looking at Thad Hilliard there. It looked like he was signaling a touchback, but King will return it out. It will get across the 20 out to the 25-yard line as we head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Guys, here with Jonathan Smith from Conan Smith. Jonathan, again, thank you so much for being part of what we do. You guys obviously believe in grassroots marketing and giving back to the community.
Absolutely. Certainly extracurricular activities are very important for high school students, keeps them focused. I played some high school football myself, and I think it did well for me, so I think it's important.
Where did you play?
Oh, well, I went to school in northern Minnesota, but don't hold that against me.
Now, that make him a Viking fan. You still use that law firm. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we are back. We're having a little trouble with John's microphone here, so see what we can do. King takes the ball. He's going to run it himself, it looks like. Nice spin there on the left sideline. The late dancer knocks him out of bounds after a long gain.
King with a nice run there for the Pergolders. And again, I apologize. We're having some technical problems with our headsets up here tonight, but this is all on Amuro King. 1-2 tackles, spins out of another one.
Right. Down the sideline, gets a block there behind the play. Malik Dancer comes across here and knocks him out of bounds.
So King flipping the field for Washington now, gets them into Pulaski territory. And they'll hand it off. Woodley, his first carry tonight, up the middle, inside the 30, down to about the 28-yard line. Woodley, his first carry tonight, brought down on the play by Redmond and Jacobs for Pulaski.
Well, if Washington can average more than 3 or 4 yards on first down, they can stay with their running game, and they've been able to do that so far. This is where I think Pulaski's going to have to maybe blitz a little bit. See if they can crack a seam and make a play here. That'll be a first down. Looks like.
So first down for King.
Aaron Austin in on the tackle, looks like. We have a nice high view tonight with our camera. It's a great shot. You can see the entire field and see how all 11 players on each team are coordinated in what they do.
Woodley again breaks it to the right. Gets it inside the 25 down to the 24-yard line.
Tackled by Mario Uceda. This is one of the simplest plays in football. It's called an isolation play. You pick out usually a linebacker and run the play right straight at him. He's able to bounce it to the outside and get about 5 yards in that first down. So they're on schedule to keep their running game going and get that first down and those 3 downs before having to punt.
The big run by King sets them up here in Pulaski territory. Second down, 5. And again, Woodley trying to get the right side, brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit that time by Ryan Gill to bring him down from behind.
Well, we said in the pregame that Gill was going to be the key to their defense, and he certainly has been, although he's had some help, but he just sort of really makes a lot of plays. That was a big one there. They've knocked him back to 3rd and 8 now, so this is somewhat of a passing situation. It'll be interesting to see if they'll throw their first pass of the night here.
So 3rd and about 8 here for Washington. Brandon Davis, the flankers, out to this left side. They'll roll King out this way. King trying to get the edge, and he is met by Gill and brought down. May have lost a yard as well, and a late penalty flag thrown in.
Now, David Hernandez made the play. He came up and forced that play back inside, and Ryan Gill was right there to make the tackle. I didn't catch the penalty signal. Face mask.
Wow. Personal foul face mask will pick up the first down. Oh, my goodness.
I didn't see that.
Let's get another look on the replay here.
There it is here, coming out to the left. There you see Hernandez turn the play in right there. Wow, we didn't see it, but I guess it did.
Well, the hand was up there, and it's, again, for King, he does have the face shield above the face mask, so the hand gets up there. Anytime at high school that hand comes across the grill, you're going to get that call. So this will be a 15-yard walk-off against Pulaski and an automatic first down.
Right, the penalty happened right at about the 30-yard line, so they get the maximum penalty. You can't ever go more than half the distance of the goal.
They'll put it at the 12-yard line. 1st and 10, Washington at the Pulaski 12, following the face mask call. Amaru King, just a sophomore. High snap, brought it down, he'll keep it. And again, the play whistle dead because of penalty.
Wow. Well, he was going to walk in. I don't know if it was a penalty or what.
False start penalty against Washington. 3rd time tonight they've been called for the false start.
Now Pulaski's getting a little bit of a break here. Now they got to make a play here on first down. Now try to keep him in that long yardage situation as long as they can.
Moves it back to the 17-yard line where it'll be 1st and 15.
I think that's probably some of the experience of a sophomore quarterback. I didn't see who jumped on that play, but
Theo Carney just a moment ago yelling out instructions to his offense. They're going to have to take a timeout. Too much time in the huddle. There was confusion, so Carney takes the timeout here. 7:49 to go here in our second quarter, 8-7. Greg Roman looking on. Again, we want to remind you that Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com. Click on the Thursday Night Light links. You'll find our schedule, complete game videos and photos. You can even post your own photos and join the Thursday Night Light conversation on Facebook or Twitter. That's my24milwaukee.com. Theo Carney right in the middle of it all right there.
It is. That's his personality right there. Very animated. Players respond to him. I should probably say that Theo lost his mom in the last week. She's 60 years old, passed away, and the funeral was yesterday. Thoughts and prayers certainly go out to him and his family, and I wish him the best.
Said was pleasantly surprised when he got back to school today, and with the kids were right with him, and as King rolls out, wants to dump it off, complete, out to Woodley, and be short about the 10-yard line. Nice little pickup that time, and a little swing out by King, and using his legs to clear some space that allowed Woodley to get free for the reception.
Armstrong and Hernandez made the stop, but it was just a little dump out to the right. They didn't get much out of it, but it was pretty well executed. Pulaski also covered it very well. Got them in the long yardage situations. We'll see if they can use their passing game to get out of this.
Woodley to single back in the backfield. Davis split out here to the near side, along with Willie Price. And now King on the scramble where he's dangerous. King trying to get to the boundary near side, breaks a tackle, and then steps out just inside the 5-yard line. Going to be close to the first down marker. And King is dangerous when he gets to the edge, and it was Gill again who finally ran him down. But
it's pure athletic ability. He just takes the ball and runs outside, and it's a matter of his speed is faster than what Pulaski has on the edge, and he's very good at stepping out of tackles. He doesn't break a lot of tackles, but he certainly steps out of a lot of them.
Short of the first down, it'll be 3rd and 2. They try and bullet forward to the goal line. No signal yet. Looks like he's going to be short, but they should have enough for the first down. Get it inside the 2 for the first down.
Yeah, they're definitely in there. That's a problem now because all they have to do is stuff it in.
Willie Price, 6'1", 220, a senior. Takes it inside the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Washington Pearl Golders. Another First Bank first down tonight. Price and Woodley in the backfield. King will work in under center. He'll keep it himself. And did he break the plane? He did. Touchdown, Washington. Amuro King, the sophomore quarterback, able to get it in the end zone, break the plane of the goal. And it's a 14-7 lead now in favor of Washington.
Yeah, he went in, just followed his center, Ezel Jamison, and sends King the right guard, and Terrell Williams the right tackle, and they just pushed it back.
Once again, they will go for 2. And it's Price.
Not this time.
And not this time, you are correct. Stop short of the goal line. 14-7 it will remain, as making the stop was Dyshawn Richards for the Pulaski Rams. So a tight ball game tonight, 14-7. King doing a nice job. Amaro King, a big gain, got them into Pulaski territory, able to overcome penalties tonight.
That's what I was just going to say. It's been kind of a case of penalties and breaks as far as the game, the flow of the game, which is not really hasn't flowed very well because there has been a lot of stops, a couple of turnovers already that have changed the complexion of the game.
Armstrong and Austin will stand deep.
Both teams have a lot of players that play on both sides of the ball. It'll be interesting to see how that goes In the second half, who gets tired first.
Elliot Stokes does the kicking for the Purgolders. A 6-foot sophomore. Greg Roman talking things over with his quarterback. David Hernandez setting up their next series.
Yeah, he doesn't get much chance to talk to him. This is not the only time he's off the field. He's on kickoffs.
This will be short again. One of the linemen having trouble with it, but able to cover it up. Justin Clifford, 5'11", 225. You don't want your bigs trying to make fair catches out there. That's always an adventure, isn't it, Coach?
Well, he didn't hesitate. I'll have to say that, but he's a center. He's used to handling the ball. So.
Let's head back downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, listen to the coaching staff at Pulaski. Very calm, cool, very professional. Talking to their kids about not giving up big plays, containing that quarterback when they can, and making sure they wrap up on their tackles.
That's exactly what they need to do. That's not going to be an easy task, though.
Hernandez around the left side gets about 5. Brandon Davis able to wrestle him down.
Little option fake right there. And a quick keep and turn up the field. I don't know if that was a pre-planned play, if he was actually reading the option. Whatever it was effective, and they need to do it again when they get a chance.
Second down, 5. Ball just short of the 40-yard line of the Rams. Hernandez steps up, throws, coming back for the catch. Nice diving grab that time by Daniel Lopez. Able to come up with a diving catch. See where they give him progress here near the first down stick.
Yeah, Lopez makes a nice catch at Woodley, and Truss make the tackle. Is enough for a first down.
They will give him full forward progress out across the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Well, David Hernandez has shown that if he gets time, he can get the ball to the receivers. Time has been the problem.
Fake to Drew, rolling left. As a man out there going for it and nearly coming up with it that time was Williams. Had it batted away by Brandon Davis, the senior corner out there for Washington.
Well, that was a very well thrown ball. A simple route to the outside. We call a flag route down to the angle to the side. But Davis had good position, was able to get his left hand on the ball and knock it down.
Williams, one of the better athletes on this Pulaski team, plays basketball as well. A junior, 6'2", 195, and that's all you got to do. Put the ball out there, let him make a play.
Right. I think he maybe thought that he had it no sweat, and Davis made a good play.
Drew with the carry. Drew gets the first down across midfield to the 45-yard line of Washington. Nice to see Drew back in there. He was dinged up earlier in the first quarter. Making the tackle, Rashid Kilpatrick.
Well, Pulaski's most effective when they can mix things up and run past. They like to go about 50-50 during a normal game, so they seem to have Washington a little bit off balance.
Just shy of the first down. It's 3rd and inches. They need to get it to the 44 for the first down. Hernandez with the blitz coming. They pick it up, has time, comes back near side. Nice tightrope. Did he make the catch? He did. Beautiful reception out there on that far near side right here.
It's a tight end, Jacob Fauché. Boy, yep. That was really well done. He's right on the sideline, stepped out of bounds.
Fauché working the tightrope. Yes, he did.
Kilpatrick was underneath it, but he couldn't make the play.
Excellent leg control that time to get both feet in for the first down. Well, we had a stoppage of play. A timeout, I believe. It'll be taken by Washington. This will be our quarter break as well. 4:25 to play, second quarter. 14-7, Washington on top of Pulaski, but the Rams driving when we come back.
Well, we're back here at Pulaski Stadium on the beautiful south side of Milwaukee. We're still working on John's microphone, trying to get him set up so it works more effectively. In the meantime, we got first down here for Pulaski on the 25-yard line on the right hash. We're back in their double wide formation. Well, the passing formation and running formation. We'll see what they do here. Just a little delay and well defense by Washington. I think that was Willie Price who made the play again. Called his name more than once tonight. He's having a very good night. So it'll be second down, 10 yards to go.
Second and 10.
Second and 10 here on the 25-yard line. Hernandez drops back. Quick throw to a split end. Antonio Williams and makes the catch on the about the 20-yard line. Jerry Truss makes the tackle. The third down and about 3 yards to go on the Washington 23-yard line.
Pulaski trying to take advantage of the couple of first downs that they were able to pick up. Move the football here, trying to respond after the Washington touchdown. We get our audio back here, get that fixed as Drew around the left side. Nice move to the outside. Drew inside the 10 before he is wrapped up there. Nice move to cut it to his left.
That was a Brandon Davis made the play. That was a very nice move. He took it up inside, saw that it was jammed up, little slide step to the outside, got a little more yards, bounced one more time. Here you'll see it on the replay right here. Up to the left side, heads outside, bounces outside one more time. Excellent run. Good pursuit by the Washington defense, but a little bit too late, and they got able to get the first down inside the 10-yard line.
Well, spotted at the 7, first and goal there. Hernandez in under center. Gives to Drew Met in the backfield and hammered immediately. Lucky he did not cough that football up.
Yeah, Willie Price right there.
Price is right this time.
With Jobson was in there as well. Yeah, that pretty much erased that play, puts him outside the 10-yard line now.
Really on the linebacking course, senior 6'1", 220. Huge play there, moves the football back to the 10, loss of 3, second and goal there. 2:18 to go here in this first half, a 14-7 Washington lead, but Pulaski again knocking on the door. Single back is Drew. They will spread him out. Drew going back over the middle, caught. Nice reception by Williams. Williams taking a tackler inside the 5.
Brandon Davis made the play and made the tackle for Washington, but that was a nice little under route. He just came in under the inside receiver, and Fernandez dumped it to him right over the middle. He almost walked into the end zone.
They'll spot him just shy of the goal line, probably at the 3. Third and goal, minute 35 remaining and counting here in this first half. Impressive drive here for Pulaski.
It has been. They've stopped making mistakes now. That's really helped a lot.
They've been able to answer the bell here. Hernandez rolling out to his right, wants to throw. Ball's batted away and nearly picked off. Nice play by Kilpatrick, I believe. He got the hands on it to knock it away. It nearly came up with the pick himself.
Yeah, that almost was a 98-yarder the other way.
Good idea, though, rolling Hernandez out. That gave you the pass-run option that time, trying to make the linebacker to commit, and that's a good play on the part of Kilpatrick to kind of stay home there.
Yeah, he had his receiver open. He just didn't quite get it over Kilpatrick's reach. And good play by everybody all the way around there. Good call.
Fourth and goal from the 3. Drew again the single back. Hernandez will keep it. Touchdown, Pulaski. It's going right over left guard, left tackle. Gonzalez, Clifford, and Uceda there on that far side.
Yeah, he quarterback sneaked the first time they had the ball for the first down on fourth down in the same place. They were very confident in that, and here you get a good look at it. See, actually, Gonzalez right there comes off the block and off the line and gets a very good block.
They will kick the extra point. Jesus Hernandez on the hold. Justin Clifford on the long snap. High snap, ball down, kick on the way, and it is good. Tied at 14 late here at Pulaski Stadium in Milwaukee. As we said, give and take tonight. Obviously, Amoro King and his speed keeping Washington in the ball game, but give Pulaski credit. They marched it right down the field here on this particular drive.
Well, the other thing, when Pulaski has the ball, Amari King is not effective. So Pulaski needs to control the ball more, and they can keep doing that, get their first downs, not get themselves in tough situations with penalties. I think they can be successful.
It's our Wendy's Fan Cam tonight, presented to you every week by Wendy's. Wendy's, now that's better. Pulaski faithful enjoying their home game here tonight. Minute 13 to go in the half.
Well, now they got to make sure that they just don't give this back and let Washington get a touchdown here at the end of the first half. I think if Pulaski can go in and tied up at the half, they can feel real good.
We've got King back there along with, I believe that's Matthew Duck, number 5, a senior. And Hernandez will let that ball scoop through the Duck. It'll be picked up by King at the 20. And they'll get it back out to the 25-yard line. CW18 is TV to talk about every weeknight at 5 and 5:30. Catch all the laughs with classic episodes of 2.5 Men at a New Time. And then don't miss Family Feud with hilarious host Steve Harvey at 6 and 6:30. The survey says laugh 5 nights a week on Milwaukee's CW18.
All right, well, they did a good job of covering that kick, and they need to keep Washington back here now. No big plays. That's if you're Pulaski. If you're Washington, you're hoping for the big play.
Washington with just one timeout remaining here in the half. King will have Mark Woodley in the backfield. This time they'll give it to Price, though, the fullback, and he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Good job up front again by the Pulaski Ram defensive front.
Yeah, I think it's Redmond and Ryan Gill involved in that stop.
Washington letting the clock run here. Gill's had a nice half tonight.
Right. See if they're trying to lull Pulaski to sleep by running a run on first down here and then now trying to throw a deep pass.
Work out of the eye. Woodley trying to dance his way around the right side. Nothing doing. Again, a good job by Gill. First man there defensively for the Rams. I think they'll just be content to run the clock out here.
It appears that that's what they're going to do.
Be sure to listen to the Wendy's Varsity Blitz Scoreboard Show Friday nights at 7 on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. Get updates and scores from all the key high school football games in the area. I believe Pulaski has taken a timeout here.
They're going to try to force him to punt, although they're a little bit short on time now.
They waited an awful long time. That clock well over 30 seconds.
I think that's a good idea, but they needed to start calling the timeouts a little bit sooner. I think they have one more yet.
So 3rd and long here, 3rd and about 9. Greg Roman wanting to get his defense set here. Would appear Washington content to just take a knee and get in the locker room in a tie ball game.
It looks that way, and the formation dictates it. They're in kind of a victory formation, so that dictates that. And run it out.
And time will run out here in our first half. Great first half of football here tonight, City Conference style. Pulaski and Washington, these two teams played to a 2-point game last year, and they're knotted up here at 14 apiece through one half. Burgolders and Rams on our Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Our Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights halftime report is sponsored by Zero in Wisconsin, brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. Let's head downstairs to our own Mike McGivern.
And we're talking Zero in Wisconsin as always. Sandra, thanks for coming.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So the people that are listening, how can we help you reach your goal with Zero in Wisconsin? Tell us some of the things that we can do.
Well, one of the big things is that everyone needs to take responsibility, whether they're a passenger or a driver in that vehicle, to be as safe and make sure that trip is as safe as possible. Always wear their seatbelt, make sure that they're avoiding the distractions, make sure that they're sober, those types of things.
You know, not many people talk about the passenger. Right. And that's really important as well, as far as allowing the driver to pay attention to what he or she is doing.
That's exactly right. And an unbelted passenger can cause as much damage in a crash as if the driver is not belted as well. And so we really want to encourage everyone, whether the driver or the passenger, to make sure that they're belted up every trip, every time.
Sandra, when you're talking to high school age kids who have just gotten their license or maybe have had it for a year, feeling pretty confident after that 1 year that they're pretty good at what they do, what's the main message that you talk about?
We talk about making sure that they avoid the distractions, including additional passengers, until they get more experience. Because even though they think that they can multitask and drive as well as take care of 100 other distractions that are going on, they really can't. They can't divide that time and make that balance. And so their primary focus needs to be on driving that vehicle, making that trip safe.
This Major Sandra Huxtable, thank you so much. Her passion for this, it just comes through, and I wish you luck with your goal.
Well, thank you very much, and we want to make sure that everyone helps us out to get eventually to 0 deaths in Wisconsin.
When that happens, you and I will go out and have a cup of coffee. That'd be great news.
That would be wonderful.
Excellent. Boys, back up to you in the booth.
Mike, Sandra, thank you very much. Tie ball game here after one half of play, Pulaski Stadium, as the Burgolders jumped out to an early 8-0 lead, but the Rams responded, able to cut that lead to an 8-6 ball game, and or 8-7, I should say, and then scoring the late touchdown here in this second quarter to tie up this ball game at 14 apiece.
Well, they got a break and recovering a fumble in tight on the first touchdown, but they earned that second one with a nice drive, and made it a good game.
14 all here at halftime at Pulaski Stadium. Our Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. My 24's Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights halftime report sponsored by Zero in Wisconsin, brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. Well, the great folks from First Bank Financial Center could not be with us here at the stadium tonight, but Dave Sutton, Retail Wealth Management Vice President, sent along this message.
Hi, I'm Dave Sutton, Vice President of Retail Banking and Wealth Management at First Bank Financial Center. We are a proud sponsor of Thursday Night Lights high school football. As a community bank serving southeastern Wisconsin for over 153 years, we emphasize the local communities that we serve. We have great customer service, local decision making, bankers that know our customers by their name. We volunteer, live, and work within the communities that we serve. First Bank Financial Center is the #1 community bank small business lender in the entire state of Wisconsin, and we have local servicing. We've also been awarded as the top workplace for 3 years running. With these successes, we've recently expanded, adding locations in Brookfield, Mequon, and coming soon to Grafton. We will be here supporting Thursday Night Lights, so stop by our booth and say hi. Enjoy the game.
Thank you very much, Dave Sutton. Now we head back downstairs. Mike McGivern with his interview.
Hey guys, I'm here with Dennis Queen. He is the regional executive.
That's correct.
I have no idea what that means. We're going to find out. Dennis, thank you so much for stopping by.
Yes, sir.
What that job title with MPS? What is that?
Well, it's similar to a regional superintendent. I coordinate the supports of a number of schools within Milwaukee Public Schools.
Yeah, this is your third year. Things are going okay this early in the year?
Absolutely. We've had a great kickoff to the school year. It's really a good start.
Now you can tell that draw. He's not from here. He's from North Carolina, but he's becoming a Badger fan. How many schools do you oversee?
Well, I started out with 9. I moved to 12, and this year we're providing some intense support among 6 schools. So I'm working with 6 very intense high schools.
And your job, day-to-day job description. What is a typical day for Dennis Quinn?
A lot of meetings. I spend a lot of time in school buildings. I observe classroom instruction. I meet with principals. I attend a lot of team meetings within the buildings and help facilitate reform.
You don't sound busy at all.
No, not really, but I have enough to do.
Trust me, he's really busy. I really appreciate you guys allowing us to come do another city game. It's a great game
Absolutely.
today. Nice crowd. Everything's going well. Dennis, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You bet. Back to you boys up in the booth.
Dennis Queen, that nice little drawl there
That's
for
right, yeah.
MPS. We appreciate
Wonder if
his.
he's been through winter here yet.
Yeah. Wait just a few more weeks, right? Tie ball game here at halftime, a good one, 14-all between Washington and Pulaski here tonight, and big ball game for both schools. Burgolders trying to remain undefeated in city conference play. Pulaski trying to climb back into that city conference race.
Yeah, exactly. I was just looking at our keys of the game here to see how we did, and you know, when Pulaski does well on first down, they've been able to contain Washington's team speed, as were two of the things. And when Pulaski was unpredictable on offense, mixing up the pass and the run, they were successful. So hopefully they can keep that up the second half and continue to make this a great game.
Rams taking advantage of a couple of turnovers, and we've got a tie ball game here at the half, 14-all on our Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights, presented by Wendy's on My 24. Tied at 14 here at Pulaski Stadium between the Pulaski Rams and the Washington Burgolders. An exciting first half of play, and really off the feet of both quarterbacks here as we get to our highlight package here tonight.
Well, that's what we thought going into the game. We highlighted both of them, and here you see David Hernandez, the Pulaski quarterback, early in the game taking the ball and getting himself a first down. And here I believe is a fourth down play where they went for 4th and 2 and went for the first down at midfield on a quarterback sneak, and that was made that look pretty easy. Here's the fumble that early in the game that Willie Price picked up and headed to the goal line. Eventually was called back because of a block. You see the flag right there, but big play. Here's Mauro King, Washington quarterback, showing some of his skill. You can see some of the defense. Ryan Gill, number 51 from Pulaski, we've called his name a lot in the first half. Here's Mauro King again, getting out of that tackle and going all the way across the field, down the left sideline, and eventually he's going to score, believe me. Yep, there he is, right there, the pylon. Second touchdown right there into the end zone. That's Willie Price. And then here's
it's Drew on the
Drew
nice
on
carry.
the on the carry there. Antonio Drew redeeming himself. There's a little dump pass out in the flat to Michael Afaro.
That's Ford on one of his runs early on in the ball game.
Ford has been played quite a bit in the first half.
Ford fumbled twice tonight.
Hernandez here getting flushed out of the pocket. Nice play by, I think that is Rashid Kilpatrick. Blocking the back there on this nice kickoff return that was called it back. That's when Pulaski got his field position, was able to make a play right here. They got the fumble. Punched in right here. It's Antonio Drew again. This is Amari
That was probably the best move of the game by King right there.
A little spin out of that tackle. And then Malik Dancer forces King out of bounds. First half stats, well, that's about what you expect. 147 yards for Washington rushing, 54 yards passing for the Rams. They need to probably fix that number at 2 a little bit, second half. And the turnovers have certainly helped Pulaski stay in the game. First down, 6-5, pretty even. But if Pulaski could run the ball a little bit, they'd go with their passing game. I think it'll stay an interesting game. Otherwise, Washington certainly has had the upper hand.
Yeah, that second turnover really turned the tide in the ball game. That inside the 5 that Pulaski then was able to punch immediately in for the touchdown. That really got the momentum going back in the Ram favor.
Right. So Pulaski's fairly balanced, 54-41. It's the passing yards for Washington. They didn't have to throw the ball until they got down near the goal line and got caught back at 1st and 15. But that's not how they win games. We'll see what happens.
Both teams making their way back out onto the field for the start of our second half. We'll take our final halftime break. Be back with third quarter play from Pulaski Stadium right after this on My 24. Tied at 14 as we begin our third quarter. And again, we want to thank the great folks at Milwaukee High Lift for helping bring these great pictures to you tonight. They have provided the scissor lift for our camera tonight. So for any aerial platform need, rental, sales, or service, call the great folks at Milwaukee High Lift or visit them online at MilwaukeeHighLift.com.
Yeah, this has been one of the best locations we've had tonight. We've got great shots at high. Not only is it a high lift, it's up on the hill and it's double high, so getting a lot of good pictures.
Greg Roman, the head coach for Pulaski. Final instructions to the men on the sideline here. Pulaski will kick off. Washington to receive. Again, another short kick taken by the short man here on the near side. Anthony Hanrahan, 5'6", 160, a sophomore, takes it across his own 35, maybe the 37-yard line, where he's tackled by David Hernandez.
He said he did it all, and he does.
So good field position here for the Pergolders to start our second half. Amoro King. Boy, raw athlete. Talk about it. He's just a sophomore. And then we were talking with Theo Carney. He's got a brother, younger brother, I think at ninth grade, that's quarterback on the freshman team.
And then his older brother, Vincent King, is the right guard, number 65. So the King family is going to rule the roost at Washington for a while.
1st and 10 for the Pergolders at their own 37. Just underway, third quarter. And again, the ball may have come loose here. They have had trouble on the exchange tonight. As they unstack and
Washington recovered it.
Yep, it was Woodley, I believe, on the carry, but nearly coughed it up. It was
Sweda and Michael Redmond made the stop and evidently jarred the ball loose.
But I noticed that with King, that's things that you can work with. And talking with Theo Carney, he said
His
there were just
handling,
some ball handling issues and technical issues as far as taking snaps and handing off, but he's very coachable.
He has a tendency to kind of wave it around rather than bring it into his body and protect it.
2nd and 10, the fake to Woodley. King has it, now scrambling around, circles back. Nowhere to go. Fumbles the football, and Pulaski recovers. Lost control of it. Who comes up with us? Hernandez.
Unbelievable.
Hernandez came up with the ball. I didn't quite see who stripped it out, but again, we just talked about it. Amoro King was running around in circles back there, but had that ball hanging out, ripe for somebody to strip.
Right here.
Right there.
Really, Mario Acita had his hand on his arm enough to shake it loose. So, as good an athlete as is, if you're putting the ball on the ground, it's not going to get it done. He needs to take care of the ball.
Third turnover of the night by Washington sets up Pulaski at the Pergolder 34-yard line. Hernandez will work from shotgun. Wants to pass, sets up the screen, dumps it out to Drew. Drew with a nice catch. Nice move across the middle. Drew picks up the first down inside the 30, down to the 26-yard line. Gain of 12 on the play by Drew. Nice little screen pass that time.
Well, here you get a good look at it. He just dumps the ball right over Terrence Owens, I mean, T.O. And Drew is able to gain his balance and get a nice gain, getting down into the about the 30-yard line.
And a reminder that the Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com and click on the Thursday Night Light link. You'll also see our schedule, complete game videos, and photos at my24milwaukee.com. Drew coming around near side. Another good run by Drew.
Bounced it outside to the left, that same play.
Matthew Duck was there to make the play on the tackle, but nice run. Antonio Drew, the senior, 5'7", 170, coming into the game, 133 yards rushing on 32 carries.
Well, you call that running with your eyes, because he's got his head up. He sees what's going on, and in that case, he bounced it to the outside, was able to make a nice gain.
They'll go offset with Austin and Hernandez in the backfield. The pitch goes back to Austin, trying to get the right edge. Has to cut it back across the middle with some room. Penalty marker down, however, as they make the tackle near the 10-yard line. A spot where you might be seeing a holding call or a block in the back. Let's see. It was away from the play. It is indeed block in the back. So our Cone and Smith penalty flag flying here early in this third quarter, picking up right where we left off in that first half.
Well, Aaron Austin is one of the faster players on the Pulaski team, and you could see that once he got to that corner, he was able to accelerate.
Unfortunately,
they've had good success on that little toss play getting outside. The blocks in the backs are killing him.
And what's hurting here is that play, the flag was thrown behind the play. It was to the left side of the line, so it was actually away from where the play was going.
It probably didn't affect the play, but it's still a penalty. So see if they can recover now. They do throw the ball fairly well. Daniel Lopez out here on the outside seems to have a height advantage on his defender.
So 2nd and 20 because of the penalty. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. Hernandez on the run. Going to try this near side. Has some room. Gets a block downfield. And out of bounds inside the 20 near the 15-yard line. That was a nice play. Daniel Lopez out there, the flanker, actually gave him a little more of an alley out there for a block. And that allowed Hernandez to get some extra yardage that time as we get another look.
No, it showed he had enough speed to get outside. Just down the sideline. The defender knocks his helmet off, so I think he has to come out for one play. I don't know if that doesn't appear that he is.
It will be enough for a first down. They'll mark it just inside the 10-yard line, make it 1st and goal from the 9. Again, trying to take advantage of their third takeaway on the fumble recovery. David Hernandez at quarterback gets them set. They'll hand it off. This is Aaron Austin. Austin maybe a couple before he is stacked up there.
Right up in behind Gonzalez and Uceda, the left guard and left tackle. Kyrie Childress makes the stop for Washington.
Austin will come out now as Antonio Drew will check back in.
It's a nice 1-2 punch they have with those two backs. They can keep rotating and keeping them fresh.
Austin at 6'2", 195, and Drew 5'9", 170. And spread him out here. Drew will be the single back. For Shea, lined up on that right side. And his pump fakes, brings it back down, dives forward, gets back to the 6-yard line.
I think that was a very wise move on his part. It was pretty well covered.
Like Terrell Williams there, right there to make the play as you get a look at Theo Carney. The ball cap there.
It's a big play now, 3rd down. I'm sure they'd like to get a touchdown out of this, but Hernandez is a very capable kicker. They certainly are able to get 3 points. Washington has shown that they don't really have a kicker probably. They've gone for 2 every time.
Lopez in single coverage here to the left. 2 receivers out to the right side. Hernandez will roll right. No time. On the scramble, Hernandez cuts it back. Gets it inside the 5. Down about the 4-yard line is Hernandez. Sets up an interesting call here for Greg Roman on 4th down.
Right. You take the 3 and get the lead, or you want to go for a whole bunch of bananas here? I'm glad he's making the call. I have a feeling he's going to go for it based on what they've played the game tonight. They're obviously playing to win.
4th and goal from the 2, and they will go for it. David Hernandez back into the huddle with the play. They'll send Lopez out here to the right, split Antonio Williams to the far side as well. Austin, the tailback.
Fumbled the snap.
Well, they mishandled the snap again, and
well, they tried to go on a quick count, and I think surprised Hernandez, or it wasn't a clean exchange of some type. That's unfortunate.
it will be Washington football.
Give it up on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, exactly. Not a bad exchange on a quick count. They'll turn it over on downs. Washington will get it back at their own 1 yard line.
Yeah, he just didn't get the handle on it. He was pulling out a little bit, anticipating what was going to happen, and just lost the handle.
So First Bank first down now for Washington. We want to thank First Bank Financial Center, our first down sponsor this season. First Bank Financial Center, discover the community bank difference. From their own 1 yard line.
Shadow their own goalpost, as they say.
This is where King can be dangerous here. Amaro King, the quarterback. They'll just try and hand it off to the fullback. Price nowhere to go. Pulaski defense up to the task. Michael Redmond, the junior, first one in there to make contact with Price.
It'll be interesting to see what Washington is willing to do, and what type of risk they'll take to get out of this situation. I don't think we've seen them punt tonight, have we?
No.
So we don't know what their kicking game is like either.
Well, it's important if you're a Pulaski fan here. Hold them back, keep them 3rd and long inside that 5 yard line, and force them into that situation where they're going to have to throw the football.
In high school football, field position is such an important element and part of the game. I think it's a little underrated by a lot of coaches, and I think we're seeing that tonight. It's very important. There we go. That's a safety almost.
It's in the end zone for a safety. Woodley was brought down near the goal line. It's a safety. Woodley tackled in the end zone. Ryan Gill, I believe, was the man there to make the play for Pulaski.
Well, Coach Roman has said that Ryan Gill is the heart and soul of the team. Right now, he's the heart, that's for sure, because he's got it beaten.
Boy, he just beat. Is it a fumble and a recovery in the end zone for a touchdown?
Oh, they called it a touchdown. Oh, I didn't see that. That is huge. I just thought it was tackled in the end zone.
That's exactly what I thought, but the ball did come out. It was recovered by Gill in the end zone for the recovery, so it'll be a touchdown for Pulaski here. The 4th turnover tonight by Washington, and they will kick for the extra point.
Washington is 1 man short. It looks like they're going to somebody's going to have to burn a timeout.
Well, the officials are going to stop play here. I think Theo Carney wants an explanation if he was down in the end zone before the ball came out. I don't know if we can get another look at that or not.
I think they're 1 man short. I think that's the problem. Yeah.
So David Hernandez will kick the extra point. It is a touchdown. So the fumble recovery by Gill in the end zone. The extra point is no good.
No good.
So we will take our break here with Pulaski taking their first lead of the night on the fumble recovery in the end zone by Gill. 2014 Rams on top on the Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Fan Cam time tonight, presented to you every week by Wendy's. Wendy's, now that's better.
Oh,
yeah, let's see that touchdown again here if we can, how that ball came out.
See right straight ahead.
Yep, it was 13, out.
Right. That is Michael Redmond had the tackle and jerked him down. And there you see Ryan Gill there ready to take advantage of the opportunity. He has the ball in his right arm. He just loses it somehow.
Before the knee hits the turf. Yep, that ball is out.
Yeah, right.
Redmond with the strip, Gill with the recovery. Great job with the guys in the truck tonight.
Nice camera work right there. We're quite a ways away, and we didn't quite see it.
Hernandez will kick it off. It will go to King. He'll take it across his own 20. Cuts midfield, breaks some tackles. And he is stacked up.
Get the ball.
They're trying to
hold him up and get the ball, and I think they got it out. Oh, they blew it dead before they got a hold of it.
Well, it was, I believe it was Antonio Williams out there who got it. But while they sort that out, let's head downstairs. Mike McGivern, who do you have?
Hey guys, here with Bill Mobeck, Director of Athletics with MPS. Spent more time with you the last 2 weeks than I have my wife, man. Thanks for having us.
People are going to start talking.
Yeah, no doubt. You know what? That'd be a bad move for you. Hey, listen, MPS, obviously you guys showing really well here the last 2 weeks. Great crowds, well-behaved, good football games, and kids with just a ton of hard-playing football.
You bet. It's been a very exciting game tonight. In fact, a lot of twists and turns, little things that aren't expecting. Some quick boys out there.
My goodness, really quick, well-coached, both coaching staffs I'm really impressed with.
Yes, they're doing a very good job with these programs, turning them around from what they were a couple years ago, and doing a really good job.
No doubt. Bill, again, thanks for having us.
All right, thanks for having me.
Thanks, boys. Back to you.
All right, Mike and Bill, thank you both very much. King will hand it off. Woodley trying to spin his way out of a tackle. Lucky to hang on to that football there, as he gets a couple out of that. Taking a lick by Terry Armstrong, the linebacker, senior, one of the faster players on that Pulaski team on the defense.
Mark Woodley went up there with a little authority there. I think he's a little upset by what happened down in the end zone. He's trying to redeem himself. And I like his attitude, the way he came back. Got one of the Pulaski Rams on the ground.
So an injury timeout here. Stopping play. On weeknights, all of your favorite shows come together. Family Guy at 5, American Dad at 5:30, The Simpsons at 6, and Family Guy again at 6:30. It's Anna Mayhem, weeknights from 5 to 7, right here on My 24. Cramping looks like the problem there. As we'll look at the Pergolder Palm Squad for Washington High School. Again, both teams made the playoffs last year. Washington getting in, and they had to face Muskego in that first round.
Yeah. No, the Pulaski?
Or Pulaski,
they
played Bradford.
Played Bradford in the first round. A bad year to have to play Bradford. They were the eventual state champion.
But Washington making it in, they took on Muskego in level 1.
I think we saw Mario Acita limp off the field a little bit with that cramp. I think if they get some water in him, he'll be able to come back.
Facing a 2nd and 8 here. Ball at the 42-yard line. King rolling left, gets a block, trying to get the edge, gets past Hernandez. King out of bounds across the first down marker into Pulaski territory. They step him out there, right across midfield. Chased down by Michael Redmond.
I couldn't tell if that was a missed handoff or a play, because he was kind of nonchalantly heading out to the left sideline, but evidently that was what the intended play. There you're looking at Mario Acita there with his has a little cramping problem.
Dave Cunningham, the defensive coordinator. It is enough for a Washington first down. They'll spot it just across the midfield stripe. We're rolling late into this third quarter, 4:40 to go.
This is a big series right here now for Pulaski to see if they can. They've been able to hold them when they got them backed up. They haven't been able to hold them real well in the middle of the field.
They'll send Price out into a slot to the left side. King will fake to Woodley, trying to go around the left side, dancing around in that pocket. King still rolling around. Look at King. Breaking tackles inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. He is something to watch. Only a sophomore, 5'8", dancing around in that pocket.
Well, he's fearless, and you can see he just keeps bobbing and weaving and backtracking and whatever he can do to get out of trouble, and turns this play into a successful play. They need to get some hands. Yeah, Malik Dancer makes the tackle. Need to get a hand on the ball. He does carry the ball a little bit out in the open.
Another strong run, another 10-yard run. Price this time the fullback. Jesus Hernandez brought him down, but close to another first down for Washington.
Washington's starting to get a little rhythm here now. I think we need to. Somebody's taking a timeout here to break the rhythm, and I can't see who it is.
It'll be time for a measurement here. That ball very close to a first down, so take timeout for a measurement. We said Washington undefeated in city conference play coming in, as they are 3-0 in the league, 3-1 overall. Their upcoming schedule, they've got Milwaukee, Madison next weekend, and then a big showdown with King on October the 6th.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting game.
And they close out their season with a non-conference game against Little Chute. Meanwhile, for Pulaski, they get Vincent next week, and it's Hamilton, and then they finish the year against Morse Marshall. They're about 3 links shy of a first down.
Good down to throw a play-action pass. Defense is
I don't think that's Robin Yount, but there's somebody wearing a Robin Yount jersey.
Yeah, right.
Second and inches. This is one of the Packers in the 60s. Vince Lombardi used to air it out right here. Oh, there was movement. Tight end bobbed out of his stance.
Actually, that was T.O. that jumped up. The number 71, the left tackle, yeah. A little too anxious. Now it's back to 2nd and 5.5.
T.O., you were too soon.
Right.
So take him back to a 2nd and 5 here.
Not a problem. They still have three downs.
Oh, absolutely manageable here. This time King will work in under center. Price and Woodley the backfield. No roll out. This time pressure. Down he goes. Good job by the Rams that time on a blitz.
Yeah, they brought everybody on that. All right, 3rd and 10 now. It's fairly serious. We'll see if they want to go to their passing game.
Armstrong was there on the tackle on King. So another loss of 5 back to the original down marker, setting up a 3rd and 10 here as we take another look.
Right through the A-gaps. And he really didn't have a chance.
Armstrong just come right up and got a hand on those legs to keep those legs from moving and brought him down.
That's the main thing, yeah.
Price in the slot here near side. They're going to try and swing it out. They do to Brandon Davis. Davis going to be met by
the
defender there. Nice coverage on the play as Antonio Williams. Yeah, Antonio Williams was there defensively to wipe that one out.
Davis is having cramp problems too, it looks like. These guys have been playing both ways, the guys that are going down. They're still working on Useda on the sideline here, trying to get his to relax.
So they'll bring a timeout here that gives us a chance to check out the Wendy's Varsity Blitz High School Football Coaches Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. Mike McGivern and Joe Cook will talk to a different coach and coaches each week. Saturday mornings at 10 on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. And hey, congratulations to Coach Joe Cook. He is going into the Wisconsin Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Their class of 2013 announced. And, of course, the former head coach up at Dominican, Oak Creek, and Pius, now the offensive coordinator in Brookfield, and cohort on the McGivern show. So congrats to Joe and making it into the Hall of Fame. Once again, we head downstairs to Joe's partner on Saturday mornings, Mike McGivern.
Hey, guys, here with Darrell Williams. He's the principal here at Pulaski. Been here a year and a half. Thank you so much for having us.
Well, I thank you all for coming here to Pulaski. This right here makes a world of difference for us and our students. As you can see through the crowd, the students are here, very supportive and very excited about this opportunity.
Hey guys, if you can tell, we dress the same. We obviously go to the same tailor. Hey, I got to tell you that the kids and the whole organization here have been very welcoming to us. I appreciate that.
Oh yes, the students. This is how we do it. Here we operate under the motto of on time, on task, and on a mission. And cooperate, participate, graduate. And so all those different aspects that go along with that, so the students know what's expected.
Darryl Williams doing a great job here at Pulaski, sir. Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you for your time, and come back anytime.
You got it. Thank you.
Mike, Darryl, thank you both very much. King on that run. This will be brought back for a holding call as he was stacked up just across the line of scrimmage and driven back. Now, it was stopped short of the first down. I think maybe you decline it here and get the ball, correct?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, they did. Yep. Okay.
So Pulaski will take over on downs because of the penalty. Right. So good move here for Pulaski, get the football back. So they turn away Washington here with 1:41 remaining in this third quarter. It's quite a class that's going into that Coaches Hall of Fame.
In there. I know a few of them too. Yeah.
Jeff Kavanaugh from Cudahy. Yeah. Brown Deer coach George Blanchard.
Big George, right.
Yeah.
Yep. Dick Barrett, Whitefish Bay.
And my good buddy from my days back at WAUK is Tom Skybosh.
Yeah, ski.
Writes for the Now newspapers and covering high school sports, so congratulations. Also Mike Sherman going in, the former Packer head coach, and Beloit native and former Colts head coach Jim Caldwell.
Yeah,
also
Jimmy Caldwell. My first coaching job was in Beloit with John Heineke, and Jimmy Caldwell was around about that time. He was a great guy.
So Pulaski now on first down. Hernandez, did he throw a pick? It was low, and
yes,
it was intercepted. Nice pick that time out there by
Rashid Kilpatrick.
Yeah. It was awfully low, right on the top of the grass. Right off the grass. Good pressure that time by Owens.
By T.O.
Right. Yeah, Owens forced him to throw that football, and so Washington will get it back on the Pulaski turnover.
All right, big turnaround right there. They didn't need that right now. Pulaski needed to keep the ball and run the clock. Well, we'll see if Washington can do anything with it now.
Again, it'll be Price and Woodley in the backfield. King in under center from the 34 of the Rams. Price pulling his way forward up the middle inside the 35 down to the 32-yard line. Let's take one more look at that interception.
Right here, yeah. There you see the pressure right there from T.O. And ball's a little underthrown, nice diving in. That's a very good interception. That was not an easy catch.
It was intended for Michael Alfaro, and it was Kilpatrick who jumped in front of it to make the play. Gain of 6, second down and 4 for King out of the I formation for Washington. King in under center.
That's a problem.
It's Ford. Big hole for Ford. He'll get it in the end zone for 6. Touchdown, Washington. Ford on the run, making up for a couple of fumbles earlier tonight. The 6'3" to Xavier Ford. Able to get it in the end zone as we get another look here.
That was a little bit too easy. I think Pulaski couldn't make the turnaround from offense to defense fast enough. Hernandez put the chase on him, but not able to make the play.
Michael Redmond had a chance, the strong safety, but a little juke move that time by Ford. Got around Redmond. Well, so we're tied at 20, and now a decision here to go for 2.
Well, evidently they don't have a kicker because they've gone for 2 every time. They're changing their formation a little bit on this one.
Ford the tailback, Price the fullback. King
keeper
trying to step around, little spin into the end zone for 2. 22-20, Washington on top. They take advantage of the interception by Rashid Kilpatrick, and 3 plays later get it in.
Well, you got to give Washington credit. I'm a little disappointed in that Pulaski didn't respond a little bit better, but you got to give Washington the credit. They got a second chance, and they took advantage of it, and now find themselves ahead here by 2 points.
Perhaps a momentum shift once again in this ball game. We'll see. 22-20, Washington on top. As Ford comes up with the touchdown run.
Well, Pulaski had outplayed Washington here the majority of the second and third quarters, and you need to see them just let that get away now too easy. So they need to get a good return here, get some field position, get back going on offense again.
32-yard touchdown run for Ford and a 2-point conversion by King. So Washington now up by 2, 47 seconds to go here in the quarter. Elliott Stokes has it teed up. Aaron Austin and Terry Armstrong standing deep. Armstrong will take it. Armstrong with some room.
He can run.
He'll get it to midfield. And he'll get it down to the 48-yard line. Well, he had a seam here to the left. If he would have just continued going to the left outside the hash, probably would have had 6. But elected to stay in the middle of the field and allow traffic to catch up. But nonetheless, a nice return.
You know, he did a nice job of hesitating and kind of waiting for his blockers to get in position, and then just turn those jets on in. And Armstrong is one of the faster players on. I asked Coach Roman who his fastest players were, and he's one of the 3 guys that he mentioned. And he did show a nice burst there. It's too bad he didn't bounce it to the left. It's easier for us to see up here than where we are than where he is.
We could hear the Pulaski coaches screaming, "Go left, left, left!" And an injured Washington player down.
It's like another cramp. Yeah, they got his foot up over his head.
Here's another look at the return by Armstrong.
You can see him kind of hesitating right there. Then he kicks it on. Now, if he comes out this way, just towards where we are, up in the press box, he maybe takes it all the way. But it's a great run. They had a good blocking up front for him.
Special teams there for the Pergolders kind of gave up the lanes that time. They collapsed around.
Yeah. Looks like about Matthew Duck on the ground. Yeah, I thought it was number 5. I think he'll be okay. Just got to get that muscle to relax again.
Mike, what do you have?
Hey guys, before the last drive, the Washington coach had asked their offensive line to finish the drive, finish their blocks, finish the drive. Obviously, they listened to him. Thank you very much.
Nothing like a second chance.
I heard Mike talking about finish today on that Journal Times football blog down in Racine. Him and Steve Sparky Pfeiffer teaching teams how to finish drives, finish ball games.
Well, it doesn't come automatically. You do have to finish them off.
Toss, Austin, near side, met and driven out of bounds. Good gang tackle that time by the Pergolder defense. Getting in there first, Elliott Stokes, the middle linebacker for Washington.
I think that's the first time we've called his name tonight. He was over there and made a nice play. So now they got them back in long yardage situation. They may have to put it in the air here.
See if the Rams elect to just stay in the huddle here. Final 10 seconds of the quarter.
I think it's going to run out.
And time will run out here in this third quarter. They'll face a 2nd and 14 when our fourth quarter resumes. 22-20. Washington on top of Pulaski by 2. Our anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights from Pulaski Stadium continues right after this. It's a 2-point ball game as we get set for our fourth quarter with Dick Basham and Mike McGivern. John Weiser with you at Pulaski Stadium in Milwaukee. Rams hosting the Washington Pergolders tonight. Teams have combined for 5 turnovers tonight. Pulaski with the football facing a 2nd and 14 to begin the quarter. Andis. Get it to Drew. Drew circling back.
Kilpatrick.
Nice open field tackle by Kilpatrick. Beautiful job to stay with him. A loss all the way back inside the Pulaski 40-yard line.
Looks like he's having a cramp problem too.
Yeah, he's trying to work that off.
Yeah, he was he was back there, and what I liked about his play is he didn't try to just bomb the guy. He broke down and made a good tackle, didn't let him get out of that bad situation. So nice play by Sheed.
Loss of 19, so 3rd and 33 here for the Pulaski Rams. I don't know what coaches would have in their playbook for this down and distance.
That's not a long list, I can tell you that.
Pump fake by Hernandez. He's going to try and come back near side, looking for Lopez, and it's incomplete. Daniel Lopez, the sophomore, the intended target. Double covered that time, both Woodley and Truss.
Truss came over to force the had to be a perfect throw, and he overthrew it a little bit. That's about all you can do on 3rd and 33. Anything else maybe would be throw a screen pass, something like that, where you can get some blockers out in front of the receiver.
This Could be a turning point here. You have to punt.
Right.
And you've got Amoro King standing deep to receive. A
Hernandez
threat
had
at any
good
time.
Hernandez had a good punt last time, kicked it over his head. We'll see if he can get it again. It's going to get a bounce, I think, on this one.
It bounces right to
A lot of room
King.
over here on this side, coming towards us. Here he comes.
25-30 coming near side. Picket fence trying to set up. 35,
Steps out
cuts
of that
back
one,
to the
heads
40, spins out of another tackle, spins out of a second to midfield. Penalty marker down. King still on his feet. Another penalty marker down. And now he's finally brought down inside the 35-yard line. Our Conan Smith penalty flag. Yeah, I think 3 different fouls here on this particular return by Amoro King.
I don't think I've seen a player quite as elusive as he is in a long time.
Well, this season, penalty flags are being brought to you by Conan Smith, your criminal defense team. People in the know to call Conan Smith. And Thad Hilliard's had a busy evening.
Yeah, the officials have earned their money tonight, that's for sure. Blocking the back.
That's one. We got a flag back here on the near side as well. Flag on the far side. Let's take another look.
Well, they'll enforce the one that penalizes them the most. He steps out of that tackle, heads across towards his bench, spins out of a tackle, ducks out of a tackle there, reverses his field a little bit, another flag thrown there, player on the ground.
Another flag.
Another flag there. It's like a disaster zone when you get done. Antonio Williams finally got him to the ground.
He's an
Either that or he
adventure.
ran out of gas and just said, I'm going down.
I tell you, that's just the raw athletic ability of Amaro King on display on that particular run.
You know, the thing is, if he improves his skills, his quarterback skills, he's still, this is coming from an old coach now, he's a little raw as a quarterback, but he's very long on talent. You know, if you take that talent and hone it in a little bit, improve his ball handling, his ability to throw. They obviously aren't going to throw. They've only thrown one pass tonight. Then they've got themselves a real package right there.
Well, don't forget that the Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com and click onto the Thursday Night Lights link. You'll find our schedule, complete game videos and photos. You can even post your own photos and join the Thursday Night Lights conversation on Facebook or Twitter. That's my24milwaukee.com. Force this penalty here that was on the near side, the block in the back, which was the first block in the back penalty. I think there were actually 3 on this particular return. And so they'll mark the football at the 32.
Down, though,
yeah, Washington will have the ball at their own 32-yard line once all is settled here.
So it turns out to be an effective punt. See if they come up with anything different here now in the fourth quarter. They haven't. Pulaski's done a pretty good job of containing them for the most part here in the last 2 quarters.
They'll put Price in as a single back behind King, the quarterback. Price will get the call.
2 tight ends running straight ahead.
Takes it across the 35 out to the 38-yard line. Nice run that time. Gain of about 6 on the play, and now he's cramping
He's
up.
got cramps. Yeah, these guys got to get water. They got to get water to them. It's not a real hot night, but all these guys that are cramping up are playing every down, and they're not getting a chance to drink, and that's what's causing the problem.
But you coaches make the players carry a gallon jug around in school and have them drink water all day, don't you?
No, I don't do that, but we always had water available at practice. That's something that, when I first started coaching, we gave kids salt pills. Well, now you'd be put in jail for that. So
another exchange problem as Ford fumbles the football. Pulaski has it. 3rd time tonight, King and Ford have had trouble on the exchange. And off the bottom of that pile is Eric Jacobs. 42, Eric Jacobs, the senior, able to recover the fumble.
You know, it looked to me like Ford just does not take care of the ball on the handoff. Well, no, I take that back. It's a little bit low. It hit him. The ball was a little bit low from the quarterback. I'm going to have to give that one to the quarterback.
And again, we talked with Theo Carney. That was one of the things he talked about Murrow King, and that is the ability to hand the ball off, the technical aspect of being a quarterback.
What I talked about just before, the mechanics of the. You don't just line up and run around as a quarterback. There are mechanics that you have to master.
Drew stumbling out of the backfield, met at the line of scrimmage and driven back.
Right. I think the
Elliott
quarterback
Stokes
run
was
together.
there.
Right, Stokes again on the tackle. Hernandez and Antonio ran together, and they just didn't make a clean getaway.
Also Kilpatrick there.
He's had a really good game tonight. He's made a lot of big plays. You can see Theo Carney, hands on his hips. He's a little concerned, and rightfully so.
7 tackles tonight for Kilpatrick.
Right. Mm-hmm.
No gain, 2nd and 10. Hernandez wants to throw. To deny the play there is Brandon Davis able to stand up the intended receiver, Antonio Williams. And lucky there wasn't a flag thrown for that because in high school it doesn't matter.
Right. Williams is talking to the official, but he's I think he's going to need a lawyer in order to get that one called. Yeah. Theo's worked up, you know. He's having a discussion with one of his coaches, and I think it's a one-way discussion.
I think it was with Ford is what it was, and you're right, it was a one-sided conversation. 3rd and 10 from the 34.
Something about hold on to the ball.
They pick up the blitz. Hernandez coming around near side, going to try and throw it away. He was lucky that wasn't picked off as he tried to come back near side.
Kilpatrick right there.
Yeah, Kilpatrick was there defensively to knock it away. It was intended here. I believe it was Jesus Hernandez who was the intended target, but again, Kilpatrick having a nice night defensively for the Pergolders.
He is, yeah, he is a very good player. Very intense. You can see him in your picture kind of pacing back and forth, waiting for that next play.
It would appear they will go for it here on 4th down. 4th and 10 from the Washington 34-yard line. Hernandez bobbled the snap, brought it back down. Gets it under control, but then is met in the backfield, and he'll go down. Great job defensively that time by Jasmine Dobson. Dobson able to stay with Hernandez that time.
Well, he wasn't able to find a handle on that ball, and the more he tried, the worse it got, and ended up getting flushed outside and then tracked down by Dobson for another loss.
Take another look here, right from the get-go.
This is just not a good series of plays for Pulaski, considering the gravity of the situation. I certainly would have liked to have done better with that, I'm sure.
Well, with 8.5 minutes to go here, trailing by 2 now. Pulaski has to give up the football on downs. Washington will take over on the 41-yard line.
They'd like to run the clock a little bit here, I think, if I was Washington. Although a 2-point lead isn't a safe lead, it's a lead.
Now they fumble the snap. King picks it up, and down he goes. Again, that was Terry Armstrong coming up the middle, but problems with King and his center, Ezell Jamison, on the center quarterback exchange.
Maybe a little fatigue setting in here. Sometimes you lose your concentration when you're tired.
A loss of 3 sets up a 2nd and 13. The ball back at the 37-yard line. But the clock continues to roll here, and that's an added enemy here for Pulaski. King will work on a shotgun. Spread him out.
I would blitz him again if I was them. That blitzing has been very successful.
They put Price in a slot here to the near side. We got a timeout taken by Pulaski.
Yeah, they were going to get a penalty.
So Pulaski takes the timeout. Greg Roman not happy with players coming on in and out of the huddle. So while they talk about it, we'll give you something to talk about. That's CW18 TV to talk about. And this fall, a new hero will rise. Don't miss the new show on everyone's radar, Arrow. Wednesdays at 7 Then the Winchester brothers battle their own demons on Supernatural at 8. That's 2 action-packed shows saving the world one Wednesday at a time this fall on CW18.
Here's what Pulaski needs to understand here. We're getting about halfway through the fourth quarter. They have Washington backed up in a situation they don't want to be in, and they need to keep the pressure on them because they could get good field position out of this. We haven't seen Washington punt tonight, so we don't know what kind of a kicker they have. They don't kick field goals or any extra points. So this is huge. They need to get after him and keep him down here.
So the Rams have to burn a timeout on defense here to get them situated on the substitution here. 7:46 to play. A 2-point Washington lead. Purgolders facing a 2nd and 13.
Well, back in the
spotted
shotgun
on the
with
37.
Two backs. Could be a quarterback draw.
And you get Ford in motion here to the near side. You called it, Coach. It'll be King, and met in the backfield and brought down. They got the first shot at him. Was that Eris Owens, the defensive tackle?
Ryan Gill
got in there?
too, right? Yeah,
and then Ryan Gill with the cleanup.
I think Deshaun Richards was in there also. Well, keep blitzing them because Washington has not been able to handle that blitz.
Well, here's that down you were talking about. 3rd and 18 here now for Washington.
This is as bad as it gets for Washington, and Pulaski needs to make sure it stays bad.
I bet there are 11 sets of eyes keeping a watch on number 7 here.
Right.
Again, showing blitz. Here they come. Gill trying to blitz up the middle. They're going to toss it out, and it's knocked away. Penalty marker down.
I'm going to call interference.
Yeah, it's going to be an interference call. Truss was the intended receiver.
That's a first down, too. Gets him out of trouble.
So 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. It's going to make it a 3rd and 3.
Well, you got to give Washington credit. They handled the blitz, gave him a chance to throw it, and something good happened. Here it is right here. You can see that they bring 7, 8 guys, and they just heaves it downfield. And yeah, I'm afraid that was probably interference.
Malik
He's on
Dancer.
his back a little too much. Malik Dancer. He was in pretty good position, but he was just over the back a little too much.
Get tough because the ball was underthrown, so
Right.
both trying to break back toward the football. And
In the NFL, that probably wouldn't have been interference, but in high school, it is.
well, hard to tell with those
Well, yeah.
placement officials that have been working the first 3 weeks of the season. Well, we had 3rd and 18 showing on the board.
They got automatic first down with the interference.
Automatic
yeah.
with first down, okay. So it'll be an automatic first down at the 48. So a fresh set of downs here for the Purgolders as the clock rolls under 7 minutes to play.
New life.
Price the fullback. Moving the pile. Price keeping it moving. Close to another first down before the officials blow the play dead.
Pulaski was sleepwalking through that. Aaron Austin finally makes a stop, but Pulaski just kind of sleepwalked, and I thought he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, and all of a sudden he's 15 yards down the field.
I did too. He looked like he got hung up there just long enough, and then the pursuit got there, but he just kept moving the piles. We take another look right there.
Right.
Just broke right
Somehow
out of
he
the
got
crowd.
out of there. A lot of guys standing up, nobody putting a shoulder on him.
But you got to like the way he protected that
Right.
football, though. Two
Right.
arms around that ball, and they weren't going to punch it
They're
out.
trying to get it out, but no deal.
9-yard pickup, 2nd and 1.
Now they stuffed him. They got out of
And
it
they
again.
got him again, and tough guy to bring down, and he just falls forward, taking tacklers with him. I think he had Redmond draped around his ankles and Gill up top, and he was still able to pick up 4 and a first down.
Well, Willard Price is a big young man. He's 6'1", 220, and got a lot of power in his legs. And right now he's making use of it to Washington's advantage. Nothing fancy about their offense. We're just going to come after you. If you don't stop us, we're going to get those first downs.
5:40 to play here in this ball game. A 2-point Washington lead, but that pass interference penalty now is certainly looking big here. King on the rollout. to the right side, breaks a tackle. King still on his feet, breaks out of another tackle. Inside the 25, down short of the 20-yard line, Amuro King. David Hernandez finally got him to the turf, but at 5'8", 170, just keeps moving the legs and picks up another First Bank first down.
He's a slippery, I guess the term slippery would be good for him. A little bootleg action, hit the ball, got outside, slips out of that tackle right there. You have to wrap him up. Good tackle by David Hernandez. He got him around the legs and wrapped him.
Ball at the 23-yard line, 1st and 10 for Washington. Clock rolling, under 5 minutes to play. Again, Price will get the call. Again, tough to bring down.
It looks like we have a lot of tired people playing football out there right now, to be honest with you.
Well, when you look at
a lot
the
of standing up.
You know. A lot of the guys, most of the guys, I think about 7 or 8 on both sides, play both sides of the football.
Right. And it's...
It was Eris Owens who finally brought him down. But again, this playing into the hands of Washington right now. They're just grinding the clock.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. I think Pulaski needs to make a break for themselves. You know, I think they're going to have to blitz him or something. Cause a
Ford in the backfield. They move Price out to a slot here to the left. They'll fake to Ford. King and out. Going to put on a show.
Here we go.
Dances his way through. Breaks another tackle. One man to beat. King down to the 5-yard line.
I think Dancer finally brings him down, but it's a lot of tired players out there. There's very poor tackling. He's a good runner, but he's not. I think that's, you got to give that one to the defense more than.
Pickup of nearly 20 as we get
There's a
another
great play
look.
right here. You see a lot of reaching, not a reaching. More reaching right there. Dancer finally is able to get a hold of something and bring him down.
Set up a 1st and goal just inside the 5-yard line. Price breaks through. Touchdown, Washington. Willie Price got past Terry Armstrong.
Just a big scrum, and he comes out of that scrum and runs it into the end zone.
And again, that drive kept alive by the pass interference call on 3rd and long. And Washington able to capitalize it into 6 points.
Yeah, Pulaski had them right where they wanted them, and they ended up getting out of it. And they made something out of it. You got to give Washington credit. That's the difference between winning and losing.
And some players getting on late, and I think Theo Carney going to take a timeout.
Right.
So timeout while they go for the 2-point conversion. We'll take our break as well. 28-20 with the extra point upcoming. Our anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Thursday Night Lights from Pulaski Stadium returns right after this. Now the Pergolders calling a timeout prior to the 2-point conversion attempt here, following the 5-yard touchdown run by Willie Price. Price will be the fullback, Ford the tailback on the conversion attempt. King in under center. He will keep it. Actually ran into his own man, Ford, and he goes down immediately.
I think Ford was running one play and King was running another.
So the 2-point conversion try, that was huge. That comes up empty, so Pulaski's still within a score of tying this ball game.
Right.
3:37 to go.
And you have enough time to do it.
Absolutely. But again, going back, they had Washington back, 3rd and 18, and a pass interference call
got him the first down.
Kept the drive alive, and the Pergolders were able to.
I think that was only their second pass of the night.
Exactly, and able to capitalize on it to get it into the end zone. So
well, a good return
crowd here for
would be
Pulaski.
good.
Yeah, they're trying to think about what they need to do here.
It's not over. They have a chance. The door is still open.
Austin and Armstrong would like to get a chance to return this one here. As you get a good look at Greg Roman with the headset on, the head coach for Pulaski.
See if they kick it along a squibber or if they put it up in the air.
We're missing one player
missing
here.
The important guy, the kicker.
Yeah, where's Stokes?
You know, they're looking for the tee.
Aren't you supposed to have somebody in charge of that over there and know where it is at all times?
Yeah, he's home studying. All right, here we go. Let's see what the strategy is. It'll be interesting.
Not necessarily get it back to Austin or Armstrong. Maybe one of the short pop-up kicks
Got
here.
to move those guys up because they haven't kicked it deep all night.
No, they haven't. It's been an adventure when the upmen have had a chance. The line drive kick again goes right through. I think it was Adrian Gonzalez on special teams.
It was 70-something there.
Yeah,
71, yeah, Adrian Gonzalez.
Normally plays left guard on offense,
Right.
but also on special teams.
Last time it was Justin Clifford tried to return it. Didn't work out very well either, so.
Well, let's see what David Hernandez can do offensively for Pulaski here. Plenty of time. And they've shown they could move the football on.
They've
on
got
Washington
to
tonight.
protect him. They've got to give him time to throw it. They got to mix it. Still, they have time to mix it up, run and throw.
Sprint. Lopez out here to the right. Williams split out to the left. They want to throw. They come back. Fauché.
That's Fauché. He's been
the
their
tight
leading
end.
receiver.
Loses the football down here on the sideline, and it's
it up.
recovered by the Pergolders. Fauché, as he started to turn upfield, lost the football, and it was recovered by Jerry Truss. Let's get another look here.
Right on the sideline here. Nice throw, good catch, good play by, there he is, Kilpatrick.
Yep.
Makes the play right there. And Truss is there to finish it off.
Rashid Kilpatrick with the strip, and Truss with the recovery.
Right.
And now if you're a Pulaski Ram, this is tough territory here. 3:26 to go. You have 2 timeouts left. You're trailing by 8. You need to come up with a stop.
And the clock is now the enemy. Pulaski maybe has maybe 1 timeout, possibly 2, but I know they've used at least 1.
Ford and Price, the backfield.
Washington needs to hold on to the ball.
They'll stack the line. 10 guys in the box here. Give it to Price. Price just moving the pile for a couple. And now Pulaski appears will take a timeout here, stopping play with 3:17 to go.
They have 1 more. They use them both here. Let them run 3rd down. Make them punt.
Look at the Pulaski sideline. Some tense faces there. They know what's going on here. Down 8 with 3:17 to play. And as I said, they need to make a stop. They have to prevent the first down here to get the ball back.
You know that Washington doesn't want to put it in the air, and I don't think they will.
While they discuss this, I want to remind you this season Wendy's will be giving away a free Frosty to students who show their student ID when purchasing a combo meal at any of our participating Wendy's locations. That's a free Frosty for students who show their student ID at any of our participating Wendy's locations.
I would look for maybe a little fake handoff here and let King roll out and see what he can do with it.
Well, they're certainly stacking the middle of that line. I would not be surprised if they try and
There's no room
bounce
in the
him
middle.
outside.
Yeah, right, yeah.
They're running 9, sometimes 10 up in the box here.
Well, they're in the shotgun formation.
Split the backfield of Price and Ford. King fakes the handoff, trying to get the edge. King around the sideline.
Get him out of bounds.
And they did get him out short of the first down. Nice play there by David Hernandez. Doubles up as the quarterback and secondary player.
Now they're in position to get the first down, though.
Well, it's going to be 3rd and 1. Officials stop the clock.
think they'll run a quarterback sneak with King. That's been pretty effective for him.
There's another one of the technicalities or the mechanics of the game. If King knew that he was going to go down, maybe tried to stay in bounds, could have burned some more time.
Yeah, that comes with experience,
This could be the ball game right here, riding on this down. 3rd and 1 for the Pergolders. At the 30-yard line of Pulaski. They want to throw. They go for a quick hitter over the middle, and it's incomplete. In and out of the receiver's hands. Boy, that's a surprise party.
Wow. I would have bet my paycheck that they wouldn't do that.
Brandon Davis, I believe, or is that Price or Davis, the intended receiver?
That's Davis, number 2.
It is Davis,
He's down
okay.
on the ground. Hernandez defended it, and now they got themselves in a 4th and 2 situation.
Well,
and the clock has stopped.
Perhaps Theo Kearney thinking they could get the home run, hit the home run on a pass, everybody thinking run, and coming back on 4th down, knowing with King back there in the running game they've had, it's still a manageable down at 4th and 1.
Yeah, that's probably the thinking, that they could sneak one in on him and put the game away.
But boy, what was it they used to say, that passing and 3 bad things?
Oh, that was Darrell Royal, the
yes.
coach, famous coach at Texas. 3 things can happen, and they're all bad. That wasn't my philosophy, so I can't tell you what the 3 things were.
Yeah, that was Darrell Royal back in the day, but
incomplete, intercept, and something else. He was a guy who lived by the run.
Yes, he did.
Famous wishbone teams.
Well, 4th and 1 now for the.
This is interesting here.
A good yard to get the first down, so King will line up in under center. They give it to Price, got it, and more.
Yeah.
Fumbled the football, though, lost it.
Might have blown it dead.
They blew it dead.
Aaron Austin made the stop.
Austin was trying to strip there. I think maybe take another look at that one.
Yeah. Now Pulaski's in trouble, because they used up most of their timeouts. And we have 4-down territory for Washington.
Let's see if that ball came out. He was bobbling it there.
Yeah, it is
did
out
come
right
out.
there. Bounced right back up there.
And he did. It came right back to him.
Got the bounce.
Again, they'll try and run it up the middle. Willie Price once again, and Pulaski stopping play here. I think that's their last timeout with 2:25 to play. So now you're out of timeouts, and you're staring at a second about 7 here for Washington. Again, looking down the road for the Pergolders, they've got Madison next week, then a showdown with King on October the 6th. Right now, King and Washington undefeated in conference play.
That'll be a good game. Both teams have very good athletes.
Then they wrap up their season with a non-conference tilt against Little Chute. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they get Vincent next weekend. Then it's on to Hamilton, and then wrap up the season against Morse Marshall.
And they need to find a way to win a couple games so they can get qualified too.
This win tonight would put the Pergolders at a 4-0 city conference mark, and sits them pretty good for a seeding in the playoffs.
Pulaski will be 1-2, I believe.
Right.
And they need to find a way to win 3 games. It's amazing that the season's half over now. We're only in the middle of September.
2nd and 7 from the 20.
Well, there we go.
He's going to hand it off, and I'm not so sure that King wanted to pull that one back out from.
I think Ryan Gill was in the backfield. He almost got that handoff. That's what they're going to have to do, get somebody in there and cause a fumble. Otherwise, this is going to get run out.
It almost looked like he wanted to run option there as he tried to get it out of the hands of Price.
Well, they do run the option. I did see that in practice. They have not run it at all tonight, which surprises me a little bit.
No gain on the play, so 3rd and 7 from the 20. Clock continues to roll, 1:45 remaining. Pulaski out of timeouts. They'll roll out King. Breaking a tackle. He's short of the first down. Again, it was Ryan Gill.
Yeah, he's had a great game.
Yes, he has. He's played well on that defensive side, the senior linebacker.
Coach Kelly says he's got 10 tackles tonight.
Well, still time here. If they can get a stop, Pulaski would be able to get the football back, but they would be out of timeouts. Maybe they move it down 80 yards. I would not be surprised if Washington here takes it all the way down.
Yeah.
And takes a timeout themselves.
Well, they're already, field judge's already counting. He got it off.
Price trying to work the right side. Again, they move the pile. They'll be short of the first down, so Pulaski holds on here. They still have a little bit of a heartbeat here with 48 seconds to go. And they'll get over on the ball over on downs here at the 17-yard line.
Anything can happen.
So let's see how.
Got to throw it though. I don't think
Coach Roman's going to play this one out.
Got to put it in the air so if you catch it, you get a long gain, and if you don't, it stops the clock. You can't afford to run it here.
Spread three receivers. No, they'll change. They'll put Fauché over to the left side. Single back is Drew. Hernandez with pressure. Breaks out of it. Hernandez still on his feet. He's trying to get out of bounds, and he does for a short gain, stopping the clock with 36 seconds to play, ushered out by Lorenzo Scott. May have gotten a yard or two there, but the important piece of that, though, was getting out of bounds.
Yeah, we got another chance. Got enough time to run all the plays they have left, so.
They'll spread Daniel Lopez out here to the near side.
I think probably send Lopez down the sideline here and just throw it up and see if he can make a play.
He and Alfaro lined up near side. Want to go left. Hernandez again.
That's not
on the scramble, still on his feet. Hernandez gets out of bounds near the first down stick. Nice second effort that time. Willie Price finally pulled him down. He was able to get out of bounds and stop the clock right at the first down marker.
If he didn't get it, it's going to be within the length of the ball to get.
Gonna be short.
Just
about a foot shy of the first down.
They really don't have time to run a play here because they can't stop. Well, the first down would stop the clock. I think they're going to keep the ball and play with a pass, most likely.
Austin the single back. Four receivers go out. Hernandez lofting it near side. Ball up for grabs. It'll be picked off. Intercepted by Truss. Down the near sideline goes Truss. Breaking a tackle. Returning it all the way back inside the 25-yard line. Jerry Truss to put a bow on this box of a win for Washington tonight.
Well, that's about really all the chance they had was to throw it down the field and see if they can get lucky, make a break, somebody fall down, tip it up, whatever you can do.
Well, they tried to end a Gatorade shower for Coach Theo Carney.
He got the whole thing, too.
Oh, my goodness.
Nobody's been drinking it. I don't think they've been saved it so they can dump it on him. It's got to be kind of a bittersweet win for him. He went to school here, coaches at Washington. I'm sure he's happy for his team.
He's had a rough week. We talked about it back in the first half. He lost his mother. He passed away earlier this week, and trying to get over the grieving of that and trying to go back to work. And I know coaches, that's the best thing in this profession as a coach.
He had this group of people here that he could rally around him and give him support, and obviously they think a lot of him. I know that, and I think this will inspire him to move on to bigger and better things.
Well, penalty was thrown on the sideline violation, sideline celebration over there, but this one no longer in doubt. Take a knee, and Washington remains undefeated as they will knock off Pulaski tonight by a final of 28-20. Washington now goes to 4-0 in City League play, 4-1 overall. Pulaski now falling to 1-2 in City Conference, 2-3 overall. As a jubilant Theo Carney and the Pergolders celebrate a win here at Pulaski Field in Milwaukee. 28-20 your final. We'll be back with more of our post game from Pulaski Stadium right after this.